Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to the closing argument again. Today is Wednesday, February 21st, 2024. And we are back on the closing argument. Henry, come up. Come up. Let me see you, buddy. Come up. Join me, man. I'll leave my one here. It's good to see everyone again. We are back with some news to talk about. The news about the recent appointments in government, especially as relate to tenure positions that people were appointed to. We heard that there's some issues on it right now. It's on hold. And also some news from the central bank, as well as the drug boss, Ambassador Judy Andy. Perhaps she will appear tonight with us briefly to talk about her pending case with the gentleman called Prophet Key. And we'll discuss trending issues in the country, and we'll look forward to having a good show tonight. So stay tight. We are live on True FM and several community radio stations throughout the country. So sit tight and let's see what happens. Hope make this show a good one tonight. I'm not too well. Everybody battling with the cold, but I'm also on the weather. But we have an obligation to Liberian people, and that's why we are here tonight. But again, while waiting, I'm getting messages coming all over the place now. Oh my God! But while waiting, let me just recognize some of our followers that are watching the show. I see Emmanuel Bro. He's watching from Joy Floyd Memorial Square, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Emmanuel Bro, our condolences to the city of Blaine in Minnesota. We heard you guys lost two of your officers and one first respondent. Some crazy persons shot them. All this gun violence in America, every day. Last week again, people were celebrating the Super Bowl win, and somebody shot and killed a young person. But again, Peabody, man, how are you?
Man, I'm doing well, man, doing well. Good to be back on this Wednesday editions of the Closing Acumen. Good to be back, man.
Okay, we see Uriah Kongbek, we said Sampson. He's in Painesville. Yasa K. Ware, Nuli Kiki Nawo from ELW Rehab. Wanti M. Clark. I know Wanti. My patient had the other day when I said Vla. But I country that one, but I country that Vla. People get to work in that country, I don't call it Vla. And some people there, they're attacking me like, as if I care for when they attack. Man, we used to that attack. But I dealt with them good though. I don't draw back from them. And what the essence of having tenure positions when the legislature go and act a law creating tenure position, or because there are certain institutions that said that they should be void of presidential interference so they can operate independently to serve the Liberian people well. And because of that, if the legislature creates a tenure position, people should serve the turnout. So, but then when some people who are disgruntled come and go and prepare forcing lists to make sure that they are appointed to these positions because they want to go to a particular area and they appoint them, we shouldn't make noise about it. We will make noise about it. President, we are trying to do it and they stop him. So they're taking a code for that and all. So then they should do it. They want the essence of making these or creating tenure positions. Okay, it's not fair. You can't just come and people. I mean, the government just came to power. They are saying they don't have money. And if you're getting rid of tenure officials, that means you got to pay them off. You're talking about paying almost one person almost $300,000. Where the government got the money from? Come on, man. And somebody talking about the man. Look, we're trying to get it clear, and they were there attacking as if we really care. They know it's in Tomalin, Georgia. They think I really care. And some other one time they say, "Oh, You fed because they appoint you. I mean, as if asking for a job. The people are in abroad with a family that they the one who want job. Some of our friends left from here with a moved to Liberia, and they're hustling for a job. Now, not me. I'm working. I'm fine. But anyway, look, Wanti, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, Wanti. You just got me to start again. But anyway, we'll have a good show, Wanti. Wanti got me started just now. Yeah, but anyway, guys, let's continue, man. Kemo Kamara from Lofa County, Vonjima City. Wow, Kemo, good to see you. They watching from Lofa. The Great Nora Hawks from Iowa. Chokon Gray, Gingo Gray, if watching from 16th Street, Cinco Morovia. Asata M. Miller, watching from Soul Clinic Community. Man Jenison, wow, my man, watching from the war zone in Ukraine. I hope you are safe, brother. We got Philip Catty, watching from London. Joe Cephas Jr. First lady of Liberia, appreciate a closing argument. Wow, thank God. I'm happy to hear that. Thank God. Following, and we got Patty S. Lauba Jr. from Lower Magibi County. Precise Nino Wing. Arnold Taylor, watching from Michigan. Yvette Cephas. Got Melvie K. watching from Iowa. Alio Kamara. My own auntie in Maryland there. Elizabeth Bawon, one of our regular followers. Jay Saki Conant, watching Atlantic City, New Jersey. Alvin Favor Freeman from Minnesota. Saras Bachu. I wonder that my man who from Rhode Island, the guy who does the container. Sarah Bachu watching from Hamilton, New Jersey. Mambu Mumbo, Bismarck, North Dakota. Thomas Beer from Belgium. Wow, the Peabody biz though. That was there. Area. Michael Made from El Wac Town, opposite Hospital Junction.
Yeah.
After the Jerry Chocontito, Morovia, Pinsville. Joseph Konyani Paul. Totman Nyenwolo. Dolotan Magibi. Yeah, my grandma used to live there. G-Man Allen.
Yeah, Dolotan.
Yeah. I don't, G-Man Allen, I'm black you. Wait a minute, I'm black you. I'm black me. Well, I'm black you. Come on, man. They put out a black, they put out cost me. When you cost me, I'll black you, yeah. But nothing you cost me. I won't black you if you cost me. If you didn't cost me, I won't black you. Peter Walter from ELW Better Time. Dixon Tai Foley from Central African Republic. Wow. Salia Sony, beautiful Silver Spring, Maryland. Kefiko City. Yeah, Kef City there. Kembo Jabi, Slow Carry Community, Barnesville. Andy K. Roberts, Istanbul, Turkey. Wow. Maduhuri Chelsea Soiree. Kongata around Nigerian House. Thank you. We appreciate you, buddy. And Eric Port from Small Town. Thomas B. Balls, watching from Sydney, Australia. Yeah, guys, welcome, man.
Yeah, a lot of people here.
You can help me continue, buddy. God recognize.
Thompson Balls is watching from Sydney, Australia. You just said Eric Port, he's watching as well. But guys, welcome to the closing acumen. We would like to welcome you guys, to closing acumen. We are working around the clock. Asata Dawson, welcome as well. We are Miss Kennedy Sweet, watch Columbia, South Carolina. Beautiful place. Welcome to our dear sister Winifred Smith. Welcome Edmund Wilson. And then with love, Musu. Let me see here. Makam Shala Ramna, my brother. When you come in, swallow them. When you come in, I miss it every day. I swallow spit when I think about it. I think about it, Makam. I'm coming soon. I've been doing a small traveling, but I definitely come soon, Makam. Hassan. Good morning from South Korea. Hey, buddy. That's one of my bays. I used to be in South Korea. There's a place called Itaewon when I was a summer missionary there called Itaewon, where I used to shop in South Korea. I was there with my university many years ago. Beautiful place. Irene and George watching from Dixville. Sahin Jalo Faya. Welcome from Brooklyn City. Guys, we love to have you. We just excited to have you to keep this show going. We have to keep it going, guys. We want to thank all of you who log on every day. Some of you who've been donating to our Cash App. You know, we're working on getting our show from Monday to Friday, from Monday to Saturday. We want to add a few more days, but uh, it's expensive. You know, it's expensive, and we've been doing it, trying to do it. But if you're watching and you know you want to help us continue to do it, just hey, hit the cash out up $ TCA 2500 TCA 2500. You know, just anything. We're not compelling people to but anything you can give to just help the coaching acumen continue. We would do it. We'll do it because we want to keep the show going for 5 or 6 days, 5 days a week. Because we are here, we are balanced. Welcome. Let me see who here again. Welcome everybody. We're glad to have you, folks. We're glad to have you. Want to keep it going. Sar J. Steven watching from Minnesota. Welcome, Sar. It's good to see you. Barbara Wilson. Hey, Barbara. Good to see you as well. Let me see if I'm not leaving anybody up. Let me see what I can go back. Everybody just running. Tutman Sawolo. I want you to bring that Jackie. I want you to bring that Jackie lady back on the show to tell all what the government doing about harmonization.
You want Jackie get her job, she will come your way. Jackie,
Jackie wants me.
Jackie, everyone get her job first now.
Jackie wants me that, but Jackie will not cut too much. So
Yeah,
we're gonna
you get trouble. But you know that all the people that are on the show, right? The guy Roland is the Minister of Public Works, and he appointed the other guy, Alfonso. He appointed last 2 nights ago.
Alfonso Bella and Roland Kidding, who were all on the closest activity. Ja Eddie. Yeah, Ja Eddie. Ja Eddie is watching us in West District, Grand Bassa County. Hey, buddy. Thank you. J. Emmanuel Nagawa. Thanks for all you do. Hey, thank you, man. Well, Stephen Abbas. Good evening from my end. I'm following you from Dakar, Senegal. Hey, bro. Great. What? It's one of the best shows. Please let me know how I can help, man. Check out the closing acumen. $ TCA 2500. It's the best way you can help us to keep this show going. We're gonna want to hit it 5 days a week so that you guys will have it, because you guys keep telling, oh, hey, why you can't do 5 days a week. But sometimes it's expensive. Jackie, Margaret Johnson, good to see you. The rescue team came to rescue themselves with child. Absolutely. People floating on study talk show now. They're looking to get so they can recognize them and get job. But we're gonna keep it going here, man. We will keep it balanced, just how it is. Just how it is, man. We'll keep it balanced. Just how it is. So we want to keep the close and acumen live going and strong. But folks, it's Henry Doe.
He's in Rhode Island though. When I go to Rhode Island, better take maybe eat some good food. Yeah, whatever, cook good food for me to eat.
That's good. That's good. Hat track Elena Kia Tape. Welcome. Chelsea, Seattle Chelsea.
You see, I told you they got money. Nora Hooks, I get her money law.
Nora Hooks, yeah. Nora Hooks. Chelsea.
One of the biggest nurses in America. Money law.
Somebody else. Julia, Lofa Julius said, Seattle Chelsea nurse to her money law. So Seattle, that Lofa Julius told me now, and I trying to pick on
you. You know the keke in Labrador?
Yeah.
Nora got about 100 keke in Labrador.
Who got some money people here?
Yeah.
You cannot send cash apps. I mean, you can do sell. I mean, if you inbox me, Henry Peabody, you inbox me, I can send you a sell. I just can't give the number here now because I don't want people calling me, because one time I put the number up here and everybody was calling me from Liberia. I couldn't sleep. My website got mad. She said, you got Gabriel Liberia just calling you 3, 4 in the morning. So I had to take it away. Credible Sharif. Good to see you, my brother. Credible Sharif. Jackie can get job, so she ran away from us. When she gets a job, she'll come back.
Jackie, when he tell Jackie and say, "Oh, I stay there. I stay with you."
Jackie ran away.
Jackie, that there.
You know.
Jackie will get appointed the week, man. I should get appointed the week.
Hey, Henry. Hopefully, we'll pray that Jackie get a job because she's been killing herself. She's been working hard.
No, senior advisor W. Alvin Jones, another man. Hey, that's a U.S. veteran though.
Yeah, Sally, Sony. What's up? Sierra, Sata, Chelsea, Pete, Merritt. That was you and Lofa. Lofa told me you got money. I'm gonna call you a lot of things and send cash out. That I mean, I ain't trying to pick at you. That Lofa told me. So can you call my WhatsApp after the show? Who is that? Dixon Tayi Fullett. Dixon will write your name down and try to figure out how to call you. I don't want to figure how to call you, Dixie. But but guys, look, they I don't matter you hitting now. Say you want to do the cash app. We'll still be jumping in the show. Matter you trying to hit, want to send it the cash app the $ TCA 2500. Lofa's not here. Lofa knows how to pin it on the show, but yeah, you can see it right there. $ TCA one of so we'll keep it. This show, yeah. We try to do the best we can to keep it going. It's expensive, but we're doing our best. We want to keep the Liberian people informed, see what's going on, so we'll try to keep it. Yeah, we'll pray for Jackie and some other people need to get jobs, But you know what? One of the things that get me so I don't know, but why is it? Gosh, everybody in Liberia, if you get government job, then you're not a human being, you're not qualified, or you can't survive, you can't make it. What is it? What is it?
When I hear people say, "Oh, you didn't call your name," but let me tell them, when President Weah was president, I went to Liberia. He myself met. We sat down on at Jamaica from our two. We sat down together. He asked me, "Man, what you want to do, Tomalin? What's up?" The president. I got my daughters there in America. They haven't entered college yet, so I'm ready to come to Liberia. So imagine if the president asked me that question, then now where I know I'm supposed to put the people down. Now I will want job. Come on, people. When you're talking again, let's talk something. I wonder, At that time, where I could say, yeah, I want the place, but again, but anyway, that's Liberia. I want to say that blah. Once they put that blah, the organization. Look how you get people. The people celebrate when you want to be popular in Liberia, just cause in my course. My course or do something bad, then you become famous. Everybody will start cheering you. The like country there. What kind of country you see people will do all these kind of bad things, then people celebrate you. But when you're the best, when you're a good person, you're a good citizen, they vilify you. And that's the problem of the country. And it's sad. It's sad, It's sad.
I'm telling you, Tomalin, and that's how it is. If we were having show here, deliberately lying on people, deliberately trying to destroy people's life and bring them down, and try to divide people. If we were doing that here, you see Liberia would be thousands and stuff. Because there are people who paying other people to go after people. In fact, I was hearing about somebody who was even calling another person, asking them for money before they can destroy them on certain show. Otherwise, they won't get the job. I mean, I was so disheartened by that. I was disheartened when I heard that somebody called another person that was just appointed by President Barker. Called the president and told him, "But man, you gotta find something for me. You give me some money, I will go on one show and I will destroy you." What is that? What is that? Why you want to destroy people? Why you want to do that to gain fame? That's not correct. That is not correct at all. We just want to make sure that we can keep the people informed of what's going on. Like you were talking earlier, talking about people. Y'all come up with law. The same legislature made law coming out will say, okay, we're coming with a 10-year thing. If y'all do it, sometimes y'all want to destroy at the same time. And when every government are coming, then why you make law? You're just lying to the Liberian people. When President Weah came to power, he tried to do that, and the government President Weah stop it. So this turn of position, I don't see the need to go after people and know that these people have 1 or 2 years. You can't remove them. It is the law. The law is the law. Stop trying to destroy a law that was put into place. And the legislature, they gotta do something. You can't make your own law and then 2 years later or 4 years later you turn against it. I think that is bad. But it's bad, you know. It is very, very bad, and that's why we're going to keep this open so people can look and see. But what they're doing now, I mean, some people are using their new appointment in government to go after people. I mean, a very prominent person calling another person the other day and telling them, if you don't give me money, I will go on the show. I will destroy you. Or I will talk about you. I will do this. I'm not going to call the person name. I told the person, just, if they do it, we'll expose them. Just don't bother. But this is no time. The closing argument, don't destroy people. We do not do that. We don't. We don't go after people trying to destroy people and put them down to make us famous. I think it's wicked. I think it's upsetting. I think it's barbaric. It's unacceptable. It's dim-witted. Nobody should do that to go after people and destroy them because you want to destroy them. If this person did something and it's wrong, yes, we can report it. But to go after them and say we're trying to destroy them, I don't think it's an acceptable behavior. I don't think it's good at all for us to do that. I think it should be wrong. That's why we try to keep it clean.
Yeah, so sad. And I already heard. Now, do you know that it said the guys who they have not even been confirmed because when they nominate you for a position, they go for confirmation hearing. They have not even sent into the Senate yet. So I heard Patrick Hunter and this guy they call Abdullah Kamara. They went this morning today or wherever they went to looking to the people offices, trying to ask questions to find out. You haven't even been sent to the Senate yet. You already going places to go find out information. Now, like somebody said, LTA, the Liberian Telecommunication Authority, used to be the Liberian Telecommunication Authority, and unannounced amendment has taken place. The name has become the Lofa Telecommunication Authority because the 5 commissioners that were nominated, 4 of them from Lofa. Okay, you got Patrick Hunter, Lofa, Clarence Mazakwe, Lofa, Abdullah Kamara, Lofa, Ben Fofana, Lofa. I mean, how can you send 4 from one country to one authority? I mean, to one institution. Why? And the main people that are behind this thing are the Abdullah Kamara and the Patrick Hunter guy. They're the one who insisting that they must go to LTA. When the people,
but you know what? I don't understand, Tony.
It's sad, but and again, the thing about it is that right now the boss in the court of the Liberian Senate. If the Senate have the choice, they created these change of position. So it's in their own right, their own authority to say, well, we just kill this nomination because the tenure have not expired. Because if you want to put people in this position, you gotta pay the people off. So why it makes no sense to pay one person almost $300,000 and because they are not from your party? Don't do that. Don't destroy the country. Don't do that.
I think
for one country, they're all rushing to this one institution for what?
I think too many Liberia politicians in Liberia are no more running on the mantra that they are running for the Liberian people. They are running now on political party, and once they win the election, it's all about the political party. Even if you have people in position who are doing very well, who have made some success story in certain area, they're not going to give them. They rather move them. Whether it's going to mess it up, they don't care. They rather bring it in to bring their own people. I mean, some people are chasing these jobs as if they are so desperate that if they don't get this job, their entire life will collapse or everything going to spoil for them. I do not understand. I don't understand this kind of stuff. They just put your name up. You're going all in the office now. You're trying to do that. You're trying to attack people and all of that. Are they that desperate? Are they so desperate that what will you expect of somebody? Yeah, it's a complete elephant meat. Edwin Crow, my big brother, thank you very much for saying that. It's an elephant meat. They're so hungry and desperate to go and want to go there. After a few months, you hear that they have some misappropriation or stealing some money going on because they're so desperate. They want to go in. They're not going in to serve, but they're going in to either ride the big car or
Look,
do these kind of things that will destroy their life. We're very
look at
sad.
Jumanjala. What a
You see?
hypocrisy. Jumanjala, you are a hypocrite. Oh.
Mm.
You said these organizations, I mean, when the citizens try, what happened? They see you people who spoke against us, especially DeLong.
We did. We did.
Attack the president.
We
We are on it.
did.
He never went far of it. Then you
Yeah.
talk about said what man, come on, man. Hypocrisy is so much. I asked the
Mhm.
other day, I said, what's the issue about the tenure? He acted like he didn't see my question. He just ignored me. I'm surprised at him, as somebody who I will say again, who are on record of calling him a change maker, a person who are say senator of the year, or for him to ignore my question and to come, and then later on I see him on Facebook congratulating his friends about it. After man, look, it just but
But Dylan was on a show today. He talked about that the vice president friend gave him private car, private plane, flew on a private plane to ride his friend private plane. Nothing was wrong with Dylan. And I'm saying this, I'm calling out Dylan because you know what? I personally supported Senator Darius Dylan. I personally supported him morally and financially on several occasions, and stuff like that. When Dylan was called off for riding for lying on his business class ticket, when he came on that day when I was on Spoon Network, I called the name. I went after the government on the kick plane. If you ever hear about kick plane today, I give that name kick plane because I said it had a kick there. I said it was launching a new airline that was never launched. I did it. So we must hold everybody accountable. So I'm very surprised. Senator Dillon, who was the light at the time. I can criticize him because you know what? I supported him.
oh
I
yeah,
supported him.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, I was just surprised that the day were here on Monday when we got information what they're going to do on Monday night. And imagine now what we call 4 a.m. 4 a.m. Liberian time. When they issued the appointments took place, all the appointments took place. That 4 a.m. That's appointment days came out when people were Liberia were asleep. And for him, the next time I saw him on Facebook, congratulating and doing this one. I mean, but anyway, look, there are times for everything. The Bible says in Ecclesiastes, the time for everything. The time is
I'm
coming
a
when
season for everything, brother.
the time will coming. And I was disappointed in him, especially when I asked him, he ignored my question. And then later on, because apparently he shouldn't know of what happening, but it's up to him, man. The time will come again. I mean, I on record, I got beat, I got attacked for him. I got beat for him for defending him and promoting him, and then to come see him to ignore me, and then later on, I found out that you congratulating people on Facebook after what you guys are doing is not good, and you suddenly created, and he's somebody who spoke against it. He's on record speaking against the exact thing that happened on Monday night, on Tuesday morning 4 a.m. You on record for speaking against it. Now that's the hypocrisy I don't understand. But again, look,
Yeah,
guys, they have
yeah,
a good show.
You
Okay.
yeah.
you know, but great to be on here, guys. I really did not want to be on today. Not not in the right mind. But when I heard you guys discuss Dillon, I told her come on, and charming on the conversation. Quite honestly, um, great. Good evening, good afternoon to all of our listeners and followers around the word. I can say, I'm not surprised of Dillon. I'm just glad that a lot of you are now accepting the reality of who the the faker is. I said this before because I supported Darius DeLon in so many ways that I can't even just speak to one aspect of it. And the day after Darius DeLon was declared winner, I was one of those people who came up publicly and started to cautiontize Darius DeLon because I saw the way he conducted himself during the elections, um, even with the management of donations that were provided. A man who claimed to be the transparent one after the elections when we collected funds, people donations that were made. I thought the rightful thing to do after the elections to have provided detailed a report on donations that were made for that campaign to set yourself apart from everybody else. Emmanuel Yato and I, we had a huge fight about that. Emmanuel Yato got upset with me for the fact that, I was going at DeLon. Darius DeLon, up until today's date, Darius DeLon is yet to provide financial report from the election. When I talked to DeLon about it, he and his entourage, their justification was, hey, you know what? Um, because of the way funds were spent, we were not able to gather detailed information, but at least we were able to tell the people we spent the money. For a man who wanted to bring change, that in itself told me the mentality of Darrell Dillon. And since then, every confidence, I was just hoping like a thread. I was just hoping like a thread that he would be able to turn something around. So seeing that Dillon today, who spoke about something else, is turning against those, I'm not surprised. Sometimes you got to prepare yourselves for these moments. And that's what I did. I had myself prepared knowing that, hey, Darius Dillon wasn't going to be any different, especially when he proved me right. The same people who insulted me and other people, when Darius Dillon started to prove them wrong, like when he flew first class and lied about it, when he shamed his mother on so many occasions, they then realized and came back and started to apologize. These are the kind of mentality, these are the kind of things that we have in Liberia. We have these group of guys who find themselves in cliques. They will do anything to tear the entire society apart because of their selfish interest. And this is who Darius Dillon is. He's no different from the rest of the other folks you see in government. The only thing Darius Dillon and others exploit the situation. Darius Dillon used that time to gain himself relevance. This is a man who Dillon started off with the Adolph Lawrence class of patriotism. That's where a lot of people gravitated towards Darius Dillon. And I told him, knowing the kind of person I was dealing with, the records are there. I told Dillon, I said, Dillon, I will support you because those that are in the race, I don't see anybody who could probably, be better off than you. And that's the only reason. But I would be one of your greatest critics. So when I see people come on, you jealous of Darius Dillon, I just laugh about it. At least I'm jealous not to steal from innocent Liberians, to pretend, because everything else, Darius Dillon is no different from those who were there before. It's unfortunate that we find ourselves here, but we cannot simply give up because Darius Dillon and the Patrick Hornack and all of these guys, they are one clique. And so they're exploiting the situation. They're abusing the people and thinking that it's okay because he got 9 years. But in the not too distant future, we will be right there. The 9 years will be over and we will be right here by the grace of God. And that's when we'll make it. And I just hope Darius Dillon, by the time we get there, Darius Dillon will be a millionaire. So he probably don't care, but we are human. We saw the like of Alex Tyler and other people. What happened? Tyler ran back. He started begging for job, right? After all the time they stole from Liberians, he still ran back for job. Corruption King Kong. All right. The recent appointed superintendent from where I know River G or Grand G or somewhere. He was a representative. They stole and stole and stole. They can never live out of government, and so we know that. So we'll continue to do what we have to do. And these are not conversations that any one of us should shy from. We should consistently hold these guys accountable because tomorrow these will be the same people pretending to understand government.
Okay, thank you, man. Welcome, Grace. Grace, we'll get started with let's is the ambassador ready to come on for a few minutes?
Yeah, I sent her the link. I don't know. And she said she was going to remain in her office. I just spoke to her today for the first time. She said she was going to remain in her office to come on because that's where the internet is.
Oh.
So we're waiting for her. She already saw the link. So let's see.
Okay, so
I'll probably call her on. But thanks for having me. Can I say something concerning the Darius Dillon issue?
Okay. Sorry on those.
Okay.
Yes. Good evening, Ambassador Judy Andy.
Definitely let me out.
You got a lot of noise behind you, Mama.
Ambassador Andy, you still the culture ambassador for Liberia, right?
Can I get an earphone for the noise? Am I working now?
Okay. She ready? I'll bring her back. Yeah, Grace, you can just start on before we bring her. You can start on her on the intro about her. Then we can just bring her quickly.
Yeah, well,
Okay, she's in.
Ambassador Julie Andy has a case in Liberia right now against a certain individual that I have refused to call the name because I live in America and people who do those things to people, we do not mention their names. You know, it's just not the right thing to do. So I've been seeing her case on Facebook, and I think that her case is now to be heard because she is one of many Liberian women that have been abused and assaulted, verbally assaulted by a certain individual on Facebook and think that they can get it away with it. And it's not only because assault is a kind of a criminal act as well, but also the threats. So Ambassador Andy is here and I would like to welcome her on the closing argument. I'm to here as a guest, but I'm happy that I'm here on this platform right now to be able to hear or do I follow your story for you to explain to us what is going on, especially in the judiciary system of Liberia, that the executive system is now interfering in your case
Yes.
concerning a case that you took to the a certain part of the government, and now everybody a part of it. So I think she can explain herself, and then I will come on with my take on the whole thing.
Okay, welcome, Ambassador Judy Andy. Oh, so you okay? I was asking you still the culture ambassador, right?
That's a good question. It's amazing.
I mean,
Yes, I am.
okay, you know, I listened to your interview. I just want you to explain it better because I know they said the president's legal advisor, Councilor Bushi Ben Keita, he intervened in your case and you're complaining about it. That's why. So I wanted to find out what's going on.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I've had a long and a rough day. And I might not know whether I'm audible because I'm hearing some feedback. But
Hearing
can
you
you
loud and
hear
clear.
me?
You're loud and clear.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, let me just say that there are two cases in court, and one of those two, I will not discuss it now because it's still in court, and the rate has been served. So I'm not going to discuss that. I'm going to discuss the specific case that that was filed through my legal counsel to the City Court of Monrovia, because I believe in democracy and the rule of law. I also believe in the judiciary system in Liberia. I'm not giving up on it. And so that case was filed. But let me go back and say sometime last year, December 13, 2023, I got this podcast someone sent to me and everybody were talking about it. And I just got this insult, verbal abuse, criminal coercion, disorderly conduct from a Liberian living in Morocco that goes by the Nia Bwagwa Opa Zienyen, name number one. Name number two, Justin Ma, and then AKA Prophet Key. Never met him before. I don't know him. I've never interacted with him in my life. And he just went on and said and defamed my character, brought me to public disrepute, and my integrity been questionable. And I just couldn't understand what was really going on. And then his whole problem was on the 13th of December, I was appointed as member of the inaugural committee I was in charge of, I was leading the culture and entertainment aspect of the inauguration. I was given six activities to implement. And so Sis Miata called me to her office and said, look, I want you to lead, even though the government appointed me also to work with the Ministry of Internal Affairs and the Ministry of Information as it has been done in the past. So I graciously accepted Sis Miata's offer because I consider her a senior within the industry. And then besides that, she's been a diva to me because it says Miata, we all follow sitting on the old mat to plot the new one. And so I told her I was going to go and take the 6 activities she gave me, and I will conceptualize it into arts and come back with a budget to her. As I stepped out of Sis Miata's office, I was already on the internet, and he brought Sis Miata and I in and rain insult on us, called me all sorts of names, prostitute. I sleep with presidents to keep my job, and he has been told by his partisans that I'm taking their space. I'm an enemy to the state. I shouldn't get involved in the inauguration, and it is their space. They need their space. I mean, I was shocked, and I said to him, "I'm a patriotic citizen. I've been doing this as pro bono for Liberia for the last almost 30 years, and I don't get paid. I'm not in the project. I have no logistics, and I don't have staff. There's no office, but I promote the culture of Liberia throughout the world. So to have someone insult me because this is not my first inauguration. I've been in several inaugurations, which I have worked and deliver. So I was shocked, and then I wanted to study the individual because I didn't know him. So as a social worker, I started to work behind the scene to see who this person, and I started, going on internet, trying to do some research, whether quantitative or qualitative. I just wanted to know because I didn't know who I was dealing with. So, unfortunately for me, I didn't know the guy. So I'm like, who is this guy? And I'm telling you, I came across a lot of unfortunate things of the number of persons it is have rained insult on, and nothing has been done in the name of either the sitting president or their sitting first ladies or they in government, working for government, and if they can't run. But I'm a patriotic citizen. But number 2, I'm a private citizen, and I run an NGO, and I've been running the NGO for 30 years. I think that's the difference between Liberian people thinking a pro bono cultural ambassador and the NGO that I run. I use my NGO platform to promote Liberian culture. And because I use also the work that I do in the community, and I use culture as a medium of communication to our people. I started that since the war in 1994. So and all this misinformation President Charles Taylor bestowed on me cultural ambassador title is untrue. This title went through the Ministry of Information by the Liberian people to old man David D. Kumakpo. And so it's just an honor to say, look, thank you for what you're doing for Liberia, my process of disarmament, my process working with children associated with fighting forces, and all of the things I did in peace building and peace negotiations and all of that. So they bestow this honor on me and to work with the traditional people using traditional mechanism to bring Liberia culture and life and liaise with the traditional people as a liaison between the traditional and government. And so it's with this honor, I need not to say on this platform what I have done, the records I did. If you want to do a research, you want to do an investigative reporting, you will see from Liberia, all over the world, my representation at the UN General Assembly. I mean, you name it, in UNESCO, in Paris, in Dubai, in Japan, and all of these different areas in the United States of America, touring the states, going from one state, from Georgia, from Tennessee, to New York, to New Jersey. I taught African dance at the military base in New Hampshire. So I've been teaching an African dance at various colleges, just to portray our culture. You come and tell me I've done nothing. If you want the title, let them bestow the title on you. But why are you denigrating me and bringing, and bringing my life, threatening my life with terroristic threats and all of that? So it just went on, and it became a verbal abuse for me, mental torture. I couldn't concentrate no more because I'm the one that write proposals for the different programs that I implement for different international organizations, the United States government. I did the Prevail program, I did polio and yellow fever and all Ebola, COVID-19, and all these things. I can't concentrate anymore to be able to put my thoughts in place to do a proposal, for the year 2024, 2025 for Crusaders for Peace. And it just went on and on. So what I did was I said, what I will do, I will go to the law. So I took a legal stand and went to the court. I got legal counsels and I went to the court and I filed in $5 million for defamation of my character. Then I filed in another case on criminal coercion and menacing and disorderly conduct. So that writ was served on him when he came to Liberia, and he was arrested, taken to court, and I appeared in court, and the judge came up and said, look, and his counsel pleaded that since he's just coming in the country, he should go and come back the next day with a bond. And I said, I agree. So I left. The next day I appeared in court. He did not have the bond. So they asked him that on Monday, he needed to bring a bond with, we went to the court on Monday, and Tuesday he needed to bring a bond by 1 p.m. And if the bond is not there, then they will send him to jail. I'm not interested in going to jail. I'm just interested in justice being served. So I came back, and then they said a citizen from Nima County have requested the court and the two counsel to appeal to me to drop the charges against it and settle out of court. And I was very clear, and I said, okay, whoever the senior senator is, I'm a traditional person. I don't want to disrespect the elders of Nima County, but I want the podcast and the video, which is exhibit 1 to 14, be seen by the senior elders of the county and the judge. And if the judge see it fit that looking at those 14 episodes, he can allow him to go and settle out of court, then so be it. And the judge said, no, if you don't want this, then let's go to court. So we went to full proceeding. We went into court again, and they brought me on the witness stand. And then later on, they said they needed to recess and say, what they had to discuss with the two counsel. So the judge asked them to go into chambers again. They went into chambers and came and said, look, we'd like for you to leave the witness stand and then let him post a bond tomorrow. Once that bond is posted and everything, we issue him a near exit republic card. He will not leave Liberia until the case, we go through the case. I said, fair enough. So I left and I went, and they said, report, we should come back to court at 9 a.m. on Friday. So I was expecting us going to court 9 a.m. on Friday. So because the case was in court, I couldn't talk to the media or anything that has to do with the case until I'm sitting, and I see on the internet and everybody sending me in my inbox, oh, why you disappointed us? I mean, you were saving the women of Liberia. Why you disappointed us like this? Why you dropped the charges? I said, drop what charges? Drop the case against this abuser. I said, but I don't call him the abuser until he's guilty. Who is the person? They say, Prophet Key. I said, no, you're not saying the truth. Call my counsel. They say, oh, no, don't worry about the case. It's not this. It can't happen. It's not done. I said, I'm telling you, it's on the internet. So I went to my counsel and we went to the court. And then the prosecutor is telling me, no, ambassador, is not true. Only to find out that in the In the file, in the document, is there that, you know, and that the instruction came from the executive mansion, from the legal advisor. The legal advisor requested them, instructed the prosecutor to dismiss the case without my consent. And I know that the legal advisor is a legal advisor to say, Joseph Yuma Boakai, president of Liberia. He is not the attorney general of Liberia. He is not an advisor to the Republic of Liberia on legal matters, which is the Minister of Justice. Since there is no Minister of Justice confirmed, so we have an OIC. So instead of the OIC getting into the case to know the legal rights to take the legal step with respect to the dignity of someone who respect the rule of law, they didn't do that. They used their influence and power. And then I have another video that just came to me in one of the podcasts he did today at the Intellectual Center. He's and I quote and unquote because I wasn't there. Stated that there were ministers of government, high-profile ministers that went into the negotiation to have the case dropped. But the one that I know is Bushi Ben Keita, the legal advisor to the president. So I went, when I found out, I called him. I said, oh, I just want to find out, did you give any instruction for them to drop the case against Prophet Key? He said, yes, I did. And it's no secret because of the Freedom of Act law that was passed, and Liberia is a signatory to it. And according to the Abdullah Kamara, Freedom Act is you can't hold anybody, liable or in a criminal offense for speaking their mind. It's freedom of speech. That's when I started saying, no, I will not accept this. This is not freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is that you are responsible to write, to say the facts, and tell your story in line with someone else's right. Then the government will not hold you liable for that. But where you defame someone's character, you do pornography, and of course a derogatory, and you have a disorderly conduct, you take full responsibility. I said, so you're not going to tell me that because I'm an activist. You can't tell me that. I'm a community person. You can't tell me that. I've been around. I was here before this bill was passed. I know the role I play. So when you come in to tell me, I say I will not accept it. He said, oh no, pursue the civil matter, and the one you have in court is okay, but this one will dismiss it. Prior to that, the Prophet Key has released a podcast, which I have with me, and I also submitted to the court, that he was brought in by government. He worked for this government. This is his government. Since he came to town, he has not been recognized. He's been to court spending his own money, and the government told him they were going to help him. Now, when he called them, they don't answer their phone. So if they don't come to his aid, he will dump them. And he talked on and on and on and on. And right after that, the next day, the case was dropped without my knowledge. So I did a petition, and I went to the national legislature, and I said, I need justice. And I also did a petition and carried it to the executive mansion, asking the president of the Republic of Liberia to intervene, and that I need justice, and that my rights, my rights has been, people need to know that this is a country. Now it makes us look we've made mockery of our judiciary system. And then I'm saying that if the national legislature failed me and the executive failed me, and the president of Liberia, who I've asked to intervene, also failed me, and then I go back to the judiciary and I cannot get a redress, I am going to international courts. I'm going to go to the ECOWAS court. But meanwhile, I wrote the U.S. Liberian government through the Ministry of Justice. I CC copied the U.S. Embassy. I CC through that, and I said a quotation for a transmission up to the U.S. State Department. I wrote the United Nations, ECOWAS, the AU, the Council of Churches, and the traditional leaders, the Muslim Council, the Council of Chiefs and Elders Republic of Liberia, women organizations. I've written. So I have all of these dots put together, because you can't defame me what I've worked for all these years, and then you come and bring me to public ridicule and make me look like I'm a joke. No, I ain't no joke, man. I'm not a joker. I'm a serious-minded woman, and my rights has been taken up because I am a woman. I will stand up. Even if I die in the process, so be it. I am going to stand up to anybody that come and don't do the right thing. All I need, whether you go to jail, he doesn't go to jail, doesn't matter to me. I need justice. Justice must prevail.
Okay. Thank you, Ambassador Andy. I will bring Grace in, but before I bring Grace in, I don't know. Even why I don't know how it works though.
Yeah.
The president legal advisor will intervene in ongoing judicial matters. I'm still confused. But Grace, come in. Then we'll make a round. One question, everybody. Then we can. Well, we're gonna let go to Ambassador. But that's
quick before Grace come in real quick here. Ambassador Andy, do you mind just putting up your camera so that it can be a little stable, or you can just put in a much horizontal mode? It's fine like that right now. Just kind of bring it down a little bit so the audience can see you clearly. Thank you.
Good,
Thank you.
Good.
Great. Perfect. You're good.
Ambassador Andy, thank you so much for your work to Liberia. I'm surprised to hear that this is pro bono. The people fighting for the job and not knowing you're not even getting paid. So I really congratulate you for your work that you have done, trying to use your organization at the same time to promote Liberia culture. I heard they say you speak all the languages in Liberia, right? All the dialects.
I speak in all the languages, but I speak few.
You speak few dialects, okay. But my question to you is that I saw you today at the grounds of the executive mansion, which I love so much, that mansion. And I saw you there trying to get your petition. Even before this government, there was a lot of petitions given out there to the president, the previous president, and a lot of women violence, gender-based violence, and nothing was really done except for some of the women group that in America here that really stood their ground and was able to stop some grants from going to Liberia. It has to do with my group as well. That was able to, bring some kind of peace to Liberian women for some of the abuses that they went through. But I don't know what faith do you have in this government. And you presented the petition to the president, his people. I saw Mr. Charles Snyder. I want to say shout out to him. He gave me my first job to Radio Monrovia when I was 13 years old. And I saw you there giving them the petition with Mandela Cooper, who have been abused too by this individual. And you were there presenting it. What confidence do you have that these people are going to do something concerning this? Because it shows now that this man, that they're afraid of him. One minute he's in the court system, the next minute the executive, the advisor for the president is telling the put to drop the case, and when they put him off in a judicial case, while he's in the executive. So I don't know what confidence do you have in this government that they're going to do something.
Well,
before you come in, please make your answer short so everybody can ask the question. Please, your answer. Yeah, thank you.
Don't do that, man.
Don't move this guy.
Why would you guys do that, man? Don't do that.
Don't put a guy there. Go.
Don't do that.
What ambassador? Dr. Andy, you can hear us?
And guys, in order to help us to actually get everyone's contribution, let us try to be a little bit more concise and short with the questioning instead of kind of just going in detail. That way she can just promptly respond and get all of us to be able to chime in as compared to us having to kind of rabbit around with the questioning. Just be a little bit short, concise with your questions, and then she can answer, and so we can have everybody to chime in.
Maybe I just come in. Maybe I will ask for special dispensation, since I am a lawyer on this platform, and I think this is my area of expertise.
Yeah, definitely.
So I can ask for some dispensation to be a little exhaustive. I think the Bouaka administration is proceeding dangerously. They are undermining the rule of law. They first started by weaponizing the court against perceived enemy. Now they are undermining the rule of law. And everywhere around the world, in every civilized democracy, the law is superior to all social classes. All. whether Prophet Key supported you, your campaign, whether he was a hired gun, if he violated somebody's right, that person, when they go to court, justice must be served. You cannot undermine, the judiciary like the Bwaka administration is doing effectively. If you want me to come here, I can come in now and start the point, because Julie is still away. And Julie is my big sister. We worked together when I was assistant minister for culture. In fact, I came to the government first as assistant minister for culture and got promoted through until I went to London. So I entered as assistant minister for culture. Then I got promoted to assistant minister for information services. Then I got promoted as deputy minister for public affairs. I served as acting minister briefly. Then before I went to London. So I know where she's coming from, and I can, be a little bit exhausted about some of the things she's talking about, right? And essentially, a way, maybe I can start by just saying the first few terrible things that the Bwaka administration did to undermine justice, to weaponize the court against perceived enemies. The first thing the Bwaka administration did, which I thought was very wrong, was to question the appointing authority of the president to say whether or not a lame duck president can appoint a justice on the Supreme Court bench, something that happened in present and unfolding American history. It was Barack Obama who, when the opportunity arose for him to appoint somebody on the United States Supreme Court, he did, even though he was lame duck at the time. So I thought it was wrong for the Bwaka administration to go to the Supreme Court and ask a frivolous question and politicize that decision. It's a dangerous thing when the incoming government try to use the Supreme Court or the judiciary to do dirty work for it. It makes the court a legitimate target for political action. And when we talk about political action, what do we mean? When people do not have confidence in that court and they believe the court is partial, they will go to that court and start burning tires in protest. And that is the basis the Bwaka government is setting. So they did that with the appointment of Musa Din. But since Julie is here, I just want to give you the chronology, then we get to Julie. So somebody asked questions. Let me answer the question. And Julie, I'm happy to see you. And I thank you. I applaud you for the courage to standing up to the bullies in Monrovia and those who support the bullies in Monrovia. Thank you very much, my sister.
Thank you. Sorry, I have to, I'm having issue here with technology. And can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, you're loud and clear.
Today, a lot of people been on my line, so I had a low battery. So I have to put it on speaker. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, you're going as
okay, so I have to manage that so it's on charge. Okay. Well, before I went off, you asked a question whether I have confidence into the government. What I did today was what any other citizen will do, to follow every legal means as those elected officials, which are the people in the national legislature. The thing about it, we voted for them. We are part of their constituents. So I went and I made sure I gave the petition to them at the national legislature. I went to the executive. I also gave it to the executive because there's a appointee who stopped the case is also with the president. Confidence, I will continue to engage until when I'm let down, then I can answer that question of confidence level. At this point, I trust the government of the Republic of Liberia to do the right thing, and I will stand by it to the letter, and at the end, I will see results, not only for me, but for the women of Liberia.
Can I just come in with one more quick question? I just wanted to ask you because I see people on Facebook, people who call themselves advocates. They are on Facebook saying that you never advocated for any woman and you not do anything for anybody. So all the cases that were here, they were in between her leg and you said nothing. So they don't know why it said that you want to make this an issue because it's about you. I know advocacy work in different ways. Some people work in the back and some people work in the front. So can you conscientize Liberians what you have been doing concerning women's rights in Liberia?
Well, you see, everyone in this life they are entitled to their opinion. And I don't think I need a show to come on to say what I have done in the movement for women, gender equality, UN Resolution 1325, and all of these women, peace and security. So, I'm not going to be validating jokers. I know what I've done. The Liberian people know what I've done. Other women know what I have done. And I just want you to go back to at the UN, the U.S. ambassador to the UN, Linda Thomas Greenfield, will tell you the level of advocacy I've done in the Republic of Liberia as far as what women concerned. The Liberian Women Mass Action for Peace, when we went to Accra, Ghana, no one funded. Other people were funded by the United Nations to go to Accra, Ghana. I made the United Nations, the U.S. evacuated me to go to the United States. And I said no. And I went to Accra, Ghana, and I stayed in Accra, Ghana. The women on Burubura camp will tell you my role of advocacy. I'm not here to validate people. Everything is God's time, and God's time is the best. When the time comes for you to be recognized, you will be. Of course, who did the UN Resolution 1325 song that everybody's singing around here? So I'm not going to validate it, to be very honest with you. I worked as a little girl with Mary Brownell. At that time, they had one women organization, which is the Federation of Liberian Youth. The Women's Federation. And then came Mary Brownell, and Comfort Sawyer was the first Liberian woman to take the street. So ask Madam Comfort Sawyer, I ain't looking for Johnny Just Come. I'm talking about those who know done through advocacy in the Republic of Liberia. Mary Brownell, Teresa Lee Sherman, Ophelia Huff. These are women, of course, Abla Kerebeku, Massa Washington, okay? Tonia Wiles, Ruth Caesar, the late Ruth Caesar. These are people, and I'm talking about yesterday, and you are lucky to get on stage. I am talking about those who started when people were not paying attention. We didn't have a lot of women organizations. I know what we did in this country. And then you come and look at me and say, and she has done nothing for women. Oh, there are different areas where women will do advocacy, okay? Because you are feminist and you want to stand on stage and get donors funding, I don't advocate like that. Why are we not having a female genital mutilation? Okay, how did we get to where we are for Liberian to ban? Oh, is it the advocacy of the stocking caps? Please, I don't want to validate people. I want to move on to where what we are saying. The records are there. Check it out. If I've never advocated for any woman in Liberia, or let them go right ahead and say it. But I know my conscience, and I know I'm a patriotic citizen, and that's it.
Peabody.
So since I was in flat, let me just do it quick, and then I'll ask my question to Julie, and some of you can go in. But you see, I was talking about the Bouaka administration setting a very dangerous precedent. First, they tried to weaponize the court, and I gave one example before Julie came in. The second example I would give was when they took their frivolous action against the elected speaker of the Senate of the National Legislature. This is a man who was brought to Liberian governance prominence through the Unity Party administration, right? And the fact, what is it?
Yeah, because she your time.
Okay. I was just trying to give example that there is a pattern here that we are witnessing, correct? Unity Party, there is a pattern we are witnessing. Now, what the ambassador just cleverly articulated is so important, because what Unity Party has set out to do, which is now the third grave offense of the law, is to nully prosecute a case that the private prosecutress has standing interest in. It never happened anywhere around the world. So let me give to simple Liberian people what the precedent the current Liberian government is setting. If, for instance, Patrick Honor, a towering supporter of the Bouaka's administration, if Patrick Honor were to drive recklessly in Liberia and hit your child, kill your child in a car accident, and you as a private person go to the state solicitor and say, Patrick Hanna was drunk driving, he hit my child, and my child died. I need action. because the government doesn't have the energy, the courage to prosecute Patrick Hunter, they will go behind your back and say we not prosecute the case because we have the evidence. Nowhere you can not prosecute case when the private prosecutor's interest is still there. The woman has over 5 videotapes to show that the criminal coercion for which she went to the court with a stain. You do not consult her. Behind her back, you drop the case, you not prosecute the case. And the case was not prosecuted on the express instruction of Bar President Joseph Boakai. His advisor, a legal advisor, will not go there and tell the city solicitor, say, yeah, let's not prosecute the case there with all his consent. Let the Bar President come clean and say, I did not ask him to do the work on my behalf. Your legal advisor take action on your behalf. You are damaging the rule of law in the country. The ambassador has an interest. How can you not prosecute a case when the private prosecutor or the private prosecutress has an outstanding interest and has evidence in your hand? How do you not prosecute a case? How can you say he abandoned the case? How can you say she doesn't have evidence? It's a bad precedent.
Mr. Jackson, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
In order for us to get everyone's contribution, can we just focus on the questioning and then after that we can
so Julie, let me ask this question. So Ambassador Julie, I am very passionate about your case as a lawyer, somebody who practiced briefly in Liberia and went international. I am passionate. I want to express my energy behind you. My concern now is because the United Party set a very bad precedent. All the people who are United Party executive, when they do bad in the case, your relative over there, they will go and not prosecute a case because they will tell the country Anthony and say, don't go there to prosecute. We don't want you to prosecute that case, so don't prosecute. It's a bad precedent. But while I'm standing behind you, and you being a traditional sister, will you not meet with Boakai and compromise? To say, okay, I will rest my case because Boakai is a big traditional old man too, and you are the ambassador of culture, you're a traditional sister too. When we start fighting for you, like that, you and Boakai meet and you do your traditional thing. You will not withdraw the case here, my sister.
Oh, go talk in the family way.
Okay.
That's the question.
Okay. Thank you so much, and I'm so glad for the opportunity to be on. Like I said, I've had a rough day, but I was so happy and honored to hear another woman trying to stand up for me. And so I decided that I would not leave where I am. I'm going to make sure, because this internet connectivity is better than when I get home. So to be honest with you, I am a traditional person. I have respect for tradition, and I have respect for the elders. I have respect for Liberia, and I don't question the presidency at any cost. However, this case that have given me so much mental torture and oh,
Okay, go ahead. Why she adjust herself?
Let me.
Why we let me see something.
Okay, next question. Anybody got a question?
Yeah, let me. I had a question for her when she comes back. But let me just make a comment. If she comes back, then I can ask the question. Let me say that Julie has served Liberia faithfully. This lady have not only served Liberia, but she has promoted the image of Liberia internationally. Our culture had gone international. People have invited us to Liberia cultural trip to different countries. The last time I watched, it was in Dubai, and Julia had elevated our culture in different ways. And the attack that I see, not only the guy that they talk about, but the attack that I see on Julie is coming from a broader sector of the Liberian public. I mean, a bit mostly jealousy. You know, I see folks writing, oh, it's time for Judy to leave. It's time for Judy to leave. Whether you have somebody who can replace her or not, you just want her out of there for nothing. But this lady have made ultimate sacrifice for our country. Look at the airport when folks are arriving. Look at different programs. Judy will organize those women. They will get out there and promote the image of Liberia. I think we should be respecting folks like Judy. We should be giving them the ultimate respect. They should be honored for the work that she does. I don't think she is paid anything for the work that she does for Liberia. And we sit there and just go after good people that are doing good for our country. We just go after them and do things to them. I think because she has served every government. When President Salih was there, Judy was right on top. When President Weah came in, it was Julie. You know, and people just go, oh, it's time for you to go. It's time to do this and stuff. But one of the things is there are women who are supporting this guy. This young man that went to Liberia and Judy had put in court, his entire trip was sponsored by women. They paid for him. They bought him cars. They bought him things to go to Liberia. So
demoralized women.
Yeah. So the thing is, what Tomalin said, the country is black. Then people get there and want to insult him president, but we live in a black country where we dignify nonsense, wickedness, lies, hate, and gossip over people who are doing great for our country. You know. So I mean, she come back will ask my question, but I just wanted to commend her for the great work that she's doing in our country. I think they need to keep up there because I've not seen anybody who can actually take that place of Judy at this time.
So you guys mind if we just give we'll give our attorney Jackson the opportunity to to propound on the issue.
Yes, yes.
Are we gonna speak on this issue too, or what?
Yeah, you'll speak on it once she gets back. You ask questions.
But coming around you're going to speak on the issue. But you know.
So just educate our audience on the legal aspect of it. Once she gets back, when she leaves, and you will give you the opportunity to chime in. Go ahead, Mr. Jackson.
You see, one of the lies that, and I will pick up on the point Peabody was making. I've served as assistant minister for culture, and Judy has done very well for the culture. In fact, Judy took the national culture through to Expo China. So she was there. She did her stuff. They went to Crown Montana. They also went to Fesma Trois in Senegal. So she's been doing her stuff. I know that history. I was there. It's a working thing that I know. I want to stick to the rule of law issue, because the foundational basis for the governance anywhere around the world are respect for the supremacy of the rule of law. And this is something that the Bouaka government is breaking apart and doing violence to, just in, I don't know how many more they be in power. Correct? They're doing violence to the rule of law. It's bad. They try to put aside this slippery argument, which I think Julie herself decided to tell us, Table Mountain. The Table Mountain Declaration and the Abdullah Kamara Freedom of Free Expression Act, those instruments, they not really encourage abusive language. All right, it was not. Julie is here now. Let you go ahead, but I will come back in and explain what it is.
I just want to answer that question, then I can take my leave if it's okay. And I believe, like I said, in the judiciary system, in justice law, and I went to the court. I will not compromise. Justice will prevail. I will go through the process. If he's not guilty and he's set free by the court of competent jurisdiction, I will accept it and move forward. But I'm not going to lead it. Whether the whole world stand up against it, I will move, and I trust in the process of law. I am not going to compromise it. No one is above the law. My case is not with the government of Liberia. My case is with Prophet Keith.
Okay. So I mean, Judy has said that her case is not with the government of Liberia, but the way our system works, it is the government of Liberia that prosecute crime. And Julie went to court on the basis of criminal coercion. All right? And criminal coercion is a crime. That's why they had the prosecutor, the Alicante Anthony, going to the court and in behind her back nullifying the case, because everywhere around the world it is government that prosecute crime, and she elevated the case to a crime. That's what it is. But even if she said she ain't case with Prophet Key, but the case can be prosecuted by the government because it's a criminal action that she took. But having said that, let me explain. Then colleagues will jump in. I first told you that this Unity Party government and Bwaka people are setting bad precedent. They undermining the rule of law. They did it with the frivolous question they asked regarding the appointment of a justice on the Supreme Court bench. They tried to use the Supreme Court to do political work. It was wrong. In America, when that particular thing happened here, Obama appointed Garland to go on the Supreme Court. That case was held, that appointment, that nominee was held in committee room until the matter became moot. The Republican, they now go to Supreme Court to ask trivial question whether or not the president, a sitting president, have power to appoint Supreme Court justice, even when they limped up. So that was the first violation that Unity Party did. The second silly thing that they did in recent time was to file an action against the duly elected speaker of the legislature, asking whether or not he's a citizen, questioning his nationality. Fonati Kofa, a natural-born Liberian person, first giving government job by Bwaka administration. In an administration that Bwaka was the vice president, gave Fonati Kofa a first government job. What was that job? The government was Minister of State for Presidential Affairs with a portfolio. So how could they see Bwaka was vice president yet, come back and now president proper and goes to ask the court whether or not Fonati Kofa is a citizen when he already knew that Fonati Kofa was a citizen? When this matter was out of basically a stop, Fonati Kofa duly elected twice by her people and her peers. Yet Bwaka went to court. Somebody had to advise them for them to shamelessly withdraw that case. That was the second violation they did. Using the court, weaponizing the court against perceived political opponent. That was the second. The third one now is what you see here, which is the undermining of the rule of law. A private citizen is aggrieved. She's been insulted, violated. She went to the government for redress and said, look, this man here has said things that violate me. I am a female. I am so embarrassed now, I can't even file any project proposal. He said, real demeaning, derogatory things about me. I can't prosecute him privately in my private capacity. I need the government here. That's what it is. Because if she wanted to prosecute Prophet Key in her official title as ambassador, she would have called for what? Criminal malevolence, right? Criminal malevolence, I think, is all law under the table mountain, because what criminal malevolence says, you cannot be insulted to government official. So she said, I will not use my ambassadorial title. I will go in my own name, and so I will ask the government support. That's how she went for criminal coercion. Now, while the private citizen is pursuing the government to go to court with her on account of what? Criminal coercion. Criminal coercion is you threatening the woman, you cursing her, and she hold her ambassador job there. I will do this to her. I will do that. You doing that to her. You humiliating her. She goes to the government. Instead of the government applying the law rigorously, you know what the government did? While she absent, the government said, we look at the case, we don't get evidence. But government, you're not the one even bringing the evidence. She bringing the evidence to show to them, look, yeah, I filed different recording of this gentleman, violating me.
Thank you.
He accusing me of having all sort of affair, including Charles Taylor, who is in the head. That's not true. Accusing me of having affairs with even President Weah, even though President Weah is illegally married. This is not true. This man is demoralizing me. Help me, government.
Thank you,
and
Mr.
the government disappointed her. The government said, oh, we don't get evidence. What? No, the prosecute me. What? Oh, we don't get evidence to proceed. Now, what not the prosecute me? It's a Latin word that says we don't wish to go ahead with the case because we don't get sufficient backing to win. The woman said, no, you get sufficient backing to win. Yeah, the evidence here. I got file recording. That man is on tape. He violating me. But I am saying it's a dangerous precedent because tomorrow, all of us here, my friend Robert, you go to Liberia, a top-ranking Unity Party man violates your right. You go to the government and say, look, I pray the government stand with me to prosecute their crime. The government will say, "We not prosecute your case because we get evidence." Because the government doesn't want to drag its own through the court process. This is a bad precedent. It doesn't happen anywhere around the world. And I think Liberian people and people who respect the rule of law should stand up in readiness to condemn Bouaka and his legal advisor for violating the law like the way they're doing in broad daylight.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
So,
Great.
I don't know the status of that case, but Grace, I know you've been following that case. I don't know. I know I saw them today at the mansion because I thought after if the case is, I know what the case stay in court because my concern was the president legal advisor interfering in an ongoing legal matter. I don't think that's how it worked, but I don't know. But I'm sorry that she was her office, so it's late in Liberia now. It's almost 11 o'clock, so she knows is that you got to go home. There's a woman traveling, so. But
so Tomalin, we got let's Robert and Keff Hassan then.
But I'm sorry she had to leave, but hopefully we'll get her on another time. Grace, I know you can always bring her back at an appropriate time where we can have a show with her as a special guest.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. But guys, quickly, you guys, you're waiting on her case before we make progress on the next issue. Kev or Robert, y'all can weigh in quickly. We'll make progress.
Robert, go ahead.
Okay, you can go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, let me say this. I think Julianne, she probably maybe listening to the show backstage if she still have her phone on, but the case is over. It's over because people gotta get used to that. That's the new face of Liberia, you guys saying, and Perfect Kiss is the new face of Liberia. That's what you get.
Jesus Christ.
The case is over. If the mansion, because it's not they say that they told Julie and she actually spoke to the individual and say yes from the mansion. That's how powerful Prophet Key is. That's the face there. The mansion called. You guys need to look and listen, look at it. Don't look at the case just Julie, Andy, and Prophet Keys. The case was closed by the mansion. Imagine the White House is calling for case to be closed. See how powerful is that? You like it, you don't like it, Prophet Keys is powerful in that country, and that's the face. And I'm sorry to say that your children in school going to learn after that. Your children going to copy after Prophet Keys. You like it? They're done because the children are watching. The high school students are watching. He parading around. They're saying what the administration saying to you. He says sometimes I always say not what people say, what they are not saying. You should listen to. What they're saying is that the high school student and them should insult women in any direction. You can call them names, you can call them this, you can say anything, you will get away with that because that's the new face of Liberia. So get used to that. He will walk free. He had a podcast and he instructed the government to step in, and they did. That's a powerful man there. So Prophet Keys is the new face. He's the most powerful man in the country that you cannot touch him. And you touch Prophet Keys, you touch the government. The case is finished. It's dead. You forget about that thing. He's a powerful man in that country. That's the face. You live by that.
Robert, you're waiting.
Let Mr. Gonglo go. I'll go after him.
Okay.
Is Robert waiting to hear all of the views in order to cap it? Well, gentlemen, I'm happy to be back. I missed a show on Monday, for obvious reason. But I listened to Judy when I was driving from work. And I also listened to my brother Isaac Jackson. I think he's a lawyer on this platform. I think he said a lot. But yeah, what I was saying, I was thinking I was going to see Judy. She's my big sister. I want to see her here. My advice to her is she shouldn't allow any senior citizen or senior senator to intervene. She must ensure that the case goes to its legal conclusion. Let the court decide, even on the question of the civil matter, whether she's entitled to a $5 million or whatever damages she calls, her lawyers are putting for. If the government, it's clear that government is not going to prosecute the criminal aspect of it. I think Jackson explained, I was not even looking at other alternatives or under the law that, she could pursue. But when I listened to Jackson, I think he explained that he made that very clear that the government could still pursue this, other aspect of it beyond the civil issue. So I would encourage her to go. Let her not stop, because to begin to say traditional leaders and this, that, no, that's how this country is not normal. And I followed Prophet Key since he arrived. Today, I just went on my page and I asked a question. Not really a question, but I'm making a statement. Whether Liberia is a normal country or whether Liberians are normal people, it's time to debate it. Whether Liberia is a normal country, let's put that in as part of our debate. Is Liberia a normal country? Let's debate it. Because I saw people putting lapa on the floor for Prophet Key. I saw people collecting money in the United States.
It's not a normal country. It's not.
Is Liberia a normal country or are Liberia normal people? Let's debate it. I think it's time for us to even shame ourselves, whether we are normal people or we are normal country. Because in the 21st century, the issue that will concern ourselves with are not issues that is going to further this country. So that's how much I can say on this. But I think as Jackson spoke well to this, my only caution, my only encouragement is, see my big sister Judy Andy, she got a name in manner that I like to call her way. They call Beidou me. That's what you say.
You can speak Mano again.
Look, let me charm you a little bit. The question it's funny. If we question whether Liberia is a normal country, then we are all questioning our mental state. And I don't want to be part of that. My mental state.
So we should know it's not normal, right?
Well, you have to put it in context, and it has to be a case by case situation. We can't just bunch us all into this abnormal thing where all of us are not mentally straight. Obviously, there's something fundamental.
I think we should debate that. What he's saying,
I think there's something.
It's a debatable thing.
Well, we'll have the psychologists and the folks in that area do their job, right? But I think there is something fundamentally wrong with our society, and that has to do with the mindset. And I want to be clear that this mindset is not just about people who live in Liberia or folks who have not traveled outside of Liberia, because I do know people who have traveled extensively with the same mindset as some who have not traveled before. So we can have an intellectual and honest conversation about mental where we are fundamentally, all of the different issues. Why do we think the way we think? Why our government runs the way it runs, right? Why are we so biased, right? Just a few weeks ago, the other side were talking about, and it was very concerning that we had an independent judiciary system, right? I remember when the nomination of Councilor Dane came up, there were concerns about the independence of the judiciary system. And here we are today. We have a woman whose case was dismissed with instructions from the executive mansion. So the question now is the judiciary system under this government functioning as we anticipated it to function? I want to say this now, close on this. Everyone talks about what Article 15 of the Constitution says when it comes to freedom of speech. The essence of freedom of speech is to avoid censorship and interference by the government. But the same Article 15E also talks about you being responsible for the abuse therein. So when you are expressing your freedom to speak, you've got to understand that what you say and how that might affect others, you are responsible for that. The Constitution also talks about, Article 15 also talks about the limitation of that by a judicial action, right? And so when there are defamation, when there are invasion, and all of the different things that we talked about, when your rights affects the rights of others, they have the right to take you to court, and they have the right to be given due process in our court of law. And I do not think that this woman, we can fiercely disagree with each other, but for anyone to sit on a platform and says, well, I am protected by my right to freely speak, and verbally abuse someone, the freedom of expression under our Constitution does not protect that. And I don't think that's what it meant. And so my heart goes out to Miss Ambassador Eden. If she was my mother, I would have advised her, forget about this ambassador position. I mean, this is pro bono. Let them go. But then another side to that is, are you going to succumb to these folks, right? Because this is exactly what they want. And Prophet Key can never in an imagination, if he's listening, be the most powerful man or the most powerful voice in our country. If that ever happens, I will denounce my citizenship as a Liberian, and I will
let's get ready. Let's get ready.
I will never ever step foot in Liberia. God forbid. This can never happen. And this is not the fact. In his head, he has the right to think what he thinks about himself. But Prophet Key is the least of those voices that we should consider the most powerful.
Thank you.
So, guys, Robert,
Tomalin, you want me to chime you on this, or you just going to leave me out?
When I spoke about that question, is Liberia a normal country or are Liberians normal people? I was talking on the average.
Right.
Now, I mean, I know we got the likes of Raul Gagwa from Liberia. I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about the likes of Isaac Jackson or me, myself. But look on the average. Let's look at the trajectory of the political decisions we made. Okay, let's look at that. You have a majority that always come and make a decision and make us to question ourselves. Are we normal? Do we belong to the Committee of Nations? We ask ourselves.
Tomalin, can I come here a little bit?
Okay, yeah, man.
You can see that Joseph Boakai fingerprints is all over this case. And the reason why I say it, because I have personal interaction with Joseph Boakai concerning a case on Lakiri. And I can just see the exact thing playing out. How they just called Judy Annie to talk it, they should go and settle it because they, like Gio people or people from Nima County. And these things are wrong. There was a case on Lakiri. This girl was beaten severely by the principal until her skin was looking like meat. And the man came to Liberian Women Advocacy Network International to fight for him. And we were fighting the case in that we were doing it from the back, trying to get in contact with it. We were getting in contact with the education minister, to revoke this man's license for a little bit or suspend him or something, to send a message that these things cannot happen in schools and things like that. The man wrote me after 2 days and said, and I have it here. Said, oh, Sis Grace, you fighting the case for me, but Honorable Boakai just called me and told me, say, because it's St. P who did this particular act, and Liberia has done well for Liberia, so we can't put Liberia under this kind of pressure. So the man should just give me 6,000 for me to take it and forget about the case. So I asked him, I said, oh, do you want to do that? Because at this point in time, this is not about your daughter so much. It happened to your daughter, but this is to save other Liberian young girls and children, or even men, from this kind of abuse. He said, oh, and that the vice president, and I have to do that. So I called the vice president, and he answered me. We talked. And I told him, I said, why did you tell this man to withdraw this case? And he said, oh, and he told me just exactly the man said to me, This is about Lakere, and you know Lakere have been on me. I went to Lakere mission for 6 years, our own campus. So I know Lakere is a good school. But you cannot say you will take away women's rights and children's rights because the school was good and they shouldn't speak when things like that happen. And as soon as that man withdrew that case and they gave him the $6,000, he ate the $6,000. After some time, he came back to me. 1 year from there, a little girl died on Race Institute because she was neglected. So if we had solved that case on Lakere, the incident on Race Institute was not going to happen. And so that's why I see a Bwaka fingerprint on this case, and I'm so sorry. I hope that he changes his mind because this is going to change his government for the worse. Thank you.
But Grace, to not to the defense of whoever did that, but I know that the principal of Lakere was suspended by the Lakere board for 3 months. He was suspended from Lakere for 3 months on that for time indefinite, and he went for 3 months before he was reinstated. That was a very sad situation. I followed it; it was bad, and also I followed the story at Rick's, and I found out that the parents did not disclose to the school that the child was suffering from some kind of illness, and they went on a trip, and then she died. She got sick, and they died on the trip. The parents did not want to tell the school that she was having that problem. We did follow it. We wanted to do an interview and all of that, and we did follow that story, but it was just
she was showing symptoms. Like the Race Institute the girl was showing symptoms, and they just never paid her any mind. So I just seen that if the case on Lakere was actually persecuted, what are they suspended him for 3 months? It needed to be persecuted in the right fashion, going to court and everything. The 9 years, we are not talking things the family way anymore. This is the 21st century, as Mr. Gongo has said. This is it. And I said with God, me and my husband just discussed the thing. If Prophet Key become any major thing in like, bro, we're going to denounce our citizenship to that country. We're going to live our life.
So let the record show Grace and I have agreed on something.
Let me just add my piece. Grace, what you see happening like right now is something that's been happening from generation to generation. Every government come in, we talk about people bringing in the people to work. Look how prominent in government now. See, Kun got his son to LPRC. He got his sister-in-law to the other position. They got the relative all over. That's the same country. The same thing happened over and over. Nothing really changed. Ben always say, if you put your head there for Liberia, they will chop it up like meat because the Liberians are not ready to change. We want to make big mouth at opposition, and when we come to power, we take it the same way. That's why you see people are running behind government job as if they are so desperate, they are dying because they want to go back to pay debt or to come back. They've been so broke for 6 years, they want to come back and get money. Liberia is a mess, and will continue to be a mess until we get a real leader who will come there and want to change that country. Until then, we'll just even be careful, you get pressure for nothing. So you just
just for the record, we are government never did this. Because we were the one that advocated against we are government to the T when it came to women's rights in this place here for the last 6 years. And we are government did not do this both-facing dictatorship, dropping a case while the defendant sitting out to a horse and hearing the thing on Facebook, somebody posting and sharing paper around that, oh, the case have been dropped. This is dictatorship to a highest degree. We just wanted to say that. Right now, we thinking that, hey, God, I wish that we are government, at least they will go to court, and then maybe they will talk it on the cover and try to do something like that. But they never both face dictatorship right now. What they're doing, we are government never did this.
Guys, let Lofa win because we are
let Lofa and the chairman win.
About tenure issue. We're talking about tenure issue. Everybody asking me we're to talk about it. So let Lofa weigh on it. We don't go to tenure issue. The tenure appointments being made. A lot of news behind here right now, so we want to at least end the conversation with the tenure issue today. So Lofa, just weigh in it quickly. We're gonna make some progress.
I'm gonna waive my my time on contributing to this particular part of the discussion. I'm gonna address vast majority of the concerns that are being sent to me via text message and some of the comments here. Look, the reason why a lot of us continue to fall back and we don't realize Liberia problem is the same thing that we exhibit on the various platforms. When you have a person of a specific profession who is part of a discussion and that subject is what we need the expertise in, let us utilize that person. My reason for having to highlight Mr. Jackson's contribution, not because I intended to censor Robert, but because he has the legal mind. He understands and he has the nitty gritty to this entire process. I don't have the legal mind. I'm not a legal person. So maybe through his explanation, the deliberation, our audience will learn and the gossip will not be thrown out there. They will engage the issue with better understanding because he understands what he's talking about as compared to us just all talking here. We all can talk, assume, and at the end of the day, the purpose for which we are supposed to be sitting on this platform, we will not be fulfilling that. Because guess what? Our audience will leave from here not understanding what they're supposed to understand. And I think the purpose of us being here, especially for me, is to utilize this platform to educate our people. And we see these things happening on the daily basis. So it was not intended to censor anybody on here, not a Robert or Sis Grace or anything. But I hope that we will understand. If you have somebody on the platform who possess what it takes, let's use that to the fullest for the sake of our listening audience. And in closing, I just want to say, hopefully, the women of Liberia would have done something from the genesis of this entire Prophet Key Mark cussing. I hate to say his name, but because I'm a victim of his rants, but maybe we should have done something from the start to prevent it from getting here. That would have been my question to Ambassador Andy. Would it have gotten to that point? Has she and other women done due diligence, stood up against others who were abused, like the previous first lady? That lady went through a lot with this same individual. Maybe we all should have joined hands with her and stand against this guy. Instead, Liberian women, some of them, let me not generalize it, supported his idea. So I think again, being proactive would have helped as compared to being reactive, like we often do among us. We react to things as compared to being proactive. Thank you.
Guys, let me progress on this.
Yeah, I want to answer Julius on that. Julius, you know very well that it takes a case to be highlighted. When George Floyd was killed here, that was the highlight of a case in America, although he was just a common man. It takes a case. It's not every case that will be highlighted. It just takes one case that will blow up and then everybody will run behind it to save the other people that suffer before and the people that to suffer in the future. So, I mean, I understand where you're coming from.
It's difficult.
It takes a case. And so this is the highlight. She was the only person that was able to go to court and sue. So therefore, the case is being blown up. That's just it.
Okay, guys, you know, there's a training issues right now in Liberia. Everybody's.
Can the chairman chime in on this?
The chairman can lead, man. You gotta make progress on this.
That's not fair, man. That chairman.
We got enough time. Let's move forward. Chime in a little bit.
The tenure, right? The issue about tenure is important. Everybody's talking about it right now. So I want everybody to weigh in. I want to get everybody give that. The chairman, we'll start with the chairman here on the tenure issue because.
Well, why you want me to turn on the tenure issue? If I can't turn the other one, why you
chairman, how you force it so bad?
I'm asking, is there a specific interest with the tenure? Don't mind me. I just make it to me. I just give me hard The funny thing, Tomalin knows my position on this thing. Yeah, he knows that I'm not going to waste my time on Liberia, country or not. You don't know my position on this thing. I've been telling you the thing from the longest that we now see your country. Whether y'all want to agree with me or you don't want to agree with me, that is the fact. But listen, I agree with you. I think Grace spoke well. Isaac spoke. Everybody spoke well. I'm fine. I think there's enough have been said. Enter Julie. I call her Enter Julie because I worked with Julie Andy as far as 1998. When I was National Youth Advisor, we worked together to do the Kick Polio Out of Liberia campaign. And I know the work that woman has done in Liberia. The foolishness we do in Liberia where we denigrate people just because so-called people say, oh, no, she was. But Julie has been supportive of every regime, every single regime. So Julie is not a sedition. But you know, the Unity Party people, in their mind, if you were not wearing boycott T-shirt in 2023, then you were not patriotic.
So I don't have time to waste on that foolishness. I just feel sorry for her because at the end of the day, that case is not going nowhere. Keff was right. It's not going anywhere. For the president legal advisor to be emboldened to pick up the phone and instruct the judge. The only thing I got to President Boyka, that thing will come out in the U.S. State Department Human Rights Report. And this is how they start to cook their food when it hit, when the ish hit the fence, then they act like they don't know where it's coming from. But this sends a clear message to investors that if you are harmed in Liberia, if anything happens to you in Liberia, the president advisor or the president, whoever, can just pick up the phone and call a judge and say, you know what, drop the case, and they will drop the case. Exactly. And like Grace said, they like to say that George Weah was the most incompetent president Liberia ever had. They like to say that. But this kind of brazen abuse of the law never happened under him. Never happened under him. Yes, he had shortcomings. But listen, that Liberia, I got nothing to say. I can always tell them I sleep sound. I don't care about their opinions of me. The only people who I know love, all of y'all, I show you, I know you love me, you care for me. My family, my beautiful wife, my beautiful children. Let them be in the thing they're doing. The country has been rescued. Let go on to
No.
Yeah, so Chairman, we'll start with you, Chairman. The legislature passed. I mean, there was a reason why the certain position was tenured, because to avoid presidential interference, and also create independence, so in the execution of their functions. But now we saw 4 a.m. Liberian time. List came up. We discussed it. We had a discussion on Monday on the show. We got information that we would have done something in overnight. And sure enough, 4 a.m. we're all on the call. We got a breaking news. They have removed tenure officials. Okay, and now from what I heard today, I think the Senate, they're trying to read it at the House of Elders now. They have, I heard they met the president to something of that nature, and their position, they tenure officials now, there's a hurdle now. So Ben, I want you to chime in on this tenure issue, because if we're not going to have tenure, then why are we creating these positions? If it will just be somebody just come and just dismantle it.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's a testament to the symptoms of what we've seen creeping in Boyka's Liberia. If you do not, and there's so many ways you can terminate a 10-year person contract. It's all in the law. Listen, Eugene Nangbe had 2 years left on his contract, his tenure at Maritime. He knew he was going to go through something similar today. He said, you know what, I ain't got to go through the foolishness. I'm gone, right? Plus, he was active in the campaign and stuff like that. So fine. But the president can reach out to these people. The president, there's so many ways you can. They say, Charles Taylor used to say, when you want to make mayonnaise, you can break eggs. One of his favorite saying. The president has enormous power in the country. But this notion that you will just flout the law, that you will just act like the law does not exist. You will just act like, oh, nothing is going to happen. You know what? I am the king of the country, right? You go ahead and you appoint people to a tenured position. Why do we have tenure? We have tenure, and guess what? President Joseph Human Boakai was the vice president of Liberia, the president of the Liberian Senate when a lot of these laws were enacted. He was. So it's not like he didn't know. Maybe he didn't know one day he would be president, but he knows clearly. He knows clearly what he's doing. I will say this. How do you disregard tenure position? The mindset of having a tenure position is to protect those individuals from what it is, political influence, that they don't have to carry their job, they don't have to carry out their functions looking over their shoulder, because at the end of the day, they will be able to say, you know what, we're doing what we need to do in the interest of the country. But when you do this now, you think the next set of commissioners that are coming, who do you think they are beholden to? Are they tenured? So is Patrick Honda now tenured at LTA? So what's happening here? The new set of commissioners coming in, are they finishing the term of this set of commissioners, or are they starting a new term? The whole thing just doesn't make sense. It's a total mess. is a total mess for a group of people who claim that they knew everything and that they were about to come and fix this country. And what is sad is for a veteran in our politics, someone like President Joe Boakai, to frequently do what he's doing as if he has no regard. But again, this is what Liberians voted for. Elections have consequences, but let's see what happened in the House of Elders. Let's see what they will do. For me, I'm not holding my breath.
Anthony Jackson, can you just weigh in? Since, I mean, maybe you're the legal man.
Thank you. I mean, there are several difficulties here, right? So the second charge that I will bring, because the first charge was basically they were undermining the rule of law, they were doing violence to the rule of law, the supremacy of the rule of law. Now, what they're doing effectively is not just undermining the administrative structure of the government, because for effective governance, the tenure was what crafted or for certain organs, certain institutions of the government. And Ben would say, and especially because I was at the maritime and tenure was developed under the Mr. Boakai as vice president, it was to prevent the maritime from serving as a revolving door, because people were interacting with that institution from outside. So it would not be fair that every time there is a new government, you change people, that new faces the international partner will be dealing with. It reduces the level of confidence. So that was tenure was introduced at maritime, and it was introduced in many critical sectors of the government. So when you start to tamper with it, then you undermine the effective administration of the government, because that's public policy you're dealing with. So Boakai is disregarding public policy, and Ben make a point. There were these same Unity Party people who were basically criticizing the WIA government for being a kakistocratic, right? They said it was a kakistocratic government. WIA were bringing in less competent people. Today, they are even using WIA's reject. And when I say real reject, I'm using sartorius thing, right? If you somebody will address and you go to the boutique, they get boutique reject. These are clothes that the boutique will not buy, they just throw it away. Some of the real rejects are now playing ranking role in the Boakai's administration. So what was their accusation? The accusation falls apart. Take, for example, a deputy minister at the Ministry of Information, compared to the Director General at LBS, is a higher rank. So a reject by we as Deputy Minister for Public Affairs is being elevated as a Director General. So what Boakai standard? You got to ask them. They said they were improving things, right? What is the standard? A reject, the Minister of Postal Affairs is a lower rank compared to the Minister of Justice, right? So the Minister of Postal Affairs dismissed for violating the code of conduct by WIA. Today he was promoted to Minister of Justice, they're talking and crying to labor. So how are they improving beyond what President WIA did, and they accuse him of running a kakistocratic government? One of the vice presidents had no car, asking for his credential. Zero. When are you going to be talking there? No cars are supposed to interact with partners, lobby, negotiate. What is the negotiating skill of some of the people they appointed to NOGA? Let all of them put their credential also. The younger brother who was very zealous about credential business, he got a backhand slap in his face. I think he's going to sleep. He jumped on the doyen of the cabinet. His judgment was that Boakai SSR poor judgment. He brought a lady who embellished her credential. He couldn't win that fight. He said, President Boakai, what kind of judgment is this? The doyen of the cabinet, the face of Liberia to the rest of the world, embellished her credential. Boakai said, keep quiet, you're a small boy. She confirmed. She's the face of Liberia. What Boakai doing? So is he better than what we are there? That young man need to come on the public show to answer difficult question. Is he still believing in Boakai leadership credential or Boakai judgment? That he will appoint a woman who embellished her credential, whether truthful or not, I don't know. But that is the accusation he spread on the record. He was an overzealous Boakai supporter. Where is he? We need to see the credentials of some of these people Bouaka gave him big job. So what Bouaka is exercising in present-day Liberia, in political sense, is called what? Clientelism. Clientelism is people rewarding people on the basis of support. You pay them back for supporting you. Whether they get competency, zero. You're not looking for merit. You're asking questions. Did he support me? Did he wear my t-shirt? That's it. So the new standard Bouaka bringing the Liberian governance is what? Did he wear t-shirt? Look at what they've done now. Patrick Horner, not only that he's conflicted, Patrick Horner is no longer a professional journalist. He cannot pass for a professional journalist. He is a client journalist. He has a modifier behind him. This is a man who has his own radio station, passionate about broadcast journalism. You carry him to LTA to regulate the sector. Do you think Asa Jackson, former deputy minister, has some problem with Georgia, but endorsed Georgia later on? If I were to go and open my radio station with Pastor Hannah grant me frequency, do you think I'll be confident to sit down with him and talk? Why are you politicizing a professional body like the LTA? What is Bouaka doing? What kind of judgment is this? Take for instance, if Power TV or Power FM, where Abraham Gosden Williams is, if Abraham Gosden Williams station were to go now to renew their permit, would that be comfortable to sit with Patrick Horner? Patrick Horner is a client journalist. He's a Bouaka propagandist. You take him to LTA, you politicize a professional organ that's supposed to regulate that sector. Somebody say, oh, Patrick, you must divest your interest in your Punch FM. How is he going to do it? Let's be honest. Anything Patrick say about Punch FM will be superficial. Patrick Horner let radio like a four-band position, like own a business he established. He will say it. Bouaka is running our country in the ground. And Liberian people have to stand up. CDC, don't go to sleep. Don't cry. Now it's the time to stand up. Liberty Party, don't go to sleep. Stand up. ANC, stand up. We got to tell Bouaka. LTA was established as a professional technical body to regulate that sector. Radio broadcast, whoever wants broadcast, control our frequency, get permit. You put in politician there now, only because they wore your t-shirt, Bouaka, you want to get them tenure. So they stay there, because they're not coming over, maybe something will happen more, so Bouaka will get tenure every 5 years. Bouaka, you don't run our country like this. You're not president to reward people because they wore your t-shirt. That's clientelism, that political corruption 101. Read political science, that's it. You're rewarding people because they supported you. They don't have any competence. I don't want to call somebody name to say Anoka. Ask some of the people to say Anoka. Let all of them put the CV also publicly. Let's see. What credentials do they carry to Anoka to sit down and negotiate on behalf of Liberia? Do they speak proper English? Some of the people that are saying there. You know, so, brother, these people are doing nothing better. And even if you say they're negotiating some of the tenure position behind the scene, it still flies in the face of public policy. Poor people in large number stood in a queue and voted for Bouaka. Bouaka, you don't attend to their welfare, civil servant salary. You're going to take thousands of United States dollars and pay people who intend your position because you won't bring unity partisan. Is that how you're going to run our country like a private estate? And CDC still sleeping. CDC, you can't be sleeping. I am America. I'm going to be coming to Liberia soon. I'm going to go to CDC. We got to get the rally. Our constitution is clear. When we agree, we got to stand up in large number and petition our legislature. And if they don't want to listen, we ask them to exit. Bouaka is starting on a wrong footing. We can't be wishy-washy about it. You know, they say the first step a baby takes, that's the most exciting. If the first step is not exciting, then we got to be prepared. The first step they're taking here, they're not dancing good. They're not walking good. They baby leg looking weak. It's something wrong. It's premature. So CDC, ANC, Liberty Party, you are still sitting now. You're waiting for who instruction. You can see how Bouaka running the country in the ground. They're putting the country in handcuffs and not dragging it to hell. That's what they're doing effectively. That's what they're doing. Bouaka is rewarding people on the basis that they wore a t-shirt. How many opposition need he have fought? Everywhere around the world, political inclusion is something known to proper governance. And Bouaka knows that. He's not today, man, but he see opposition as black snake. Or as a Jackson boy, criticize you.
Somebody will stop you from talking.
No. But the point here is they're putting poison in your ear now. Oh, that boy criticize you, putting poison in you. You cannot run this government the way they do it.
But you say he got a country in handcuff and
dragging it to hell. That's what they're doing.
Okay.
You know the last time I laughed at one of the boys, the boy at Commerce, right? The boy at Commerce. I laugh at the boy on Spoon TV. My first argument is that not only that the boy is conflicted, man, the man is doubly conflicted. The boy at Commerce. The boy is a half Lebanese boy. The Lebanese people controls the economy of the country. In a patriarchal society like Liberia, the boy belongs to a power family, correct? So he's going to be, you better think he's going to be asking the Lebanese boy how question the boy will control our economy? He's not going to do it. Do you understand the man himself is a businessman? He's a businessman. He's conflicted. The businessman.
I mean, it's a Liberian. We can't do that.
But Ben. It's a Liberia, but the thing is, these people ran on a campaign. The mantra was what? And they'll rescue the country. Does it include a rescue mission or a mission to take Liberia to hell?
I don't think we should talk about his.
No. But let me earnest, Ben. Let me earnest. I want us to have an earnest conversation because it's about the democratic help of the country, right? The democratic help of our country. Now you undermine the administrative structure of the governance system. You say the administrative policy is that certain institutions get trained you. They get trained you because you want consistency. You don't want executive interference. Now the executive is using the powers to undermine the effective functioning of the attendee position, which is wrong. And even with the case of Patrick Hunter, it's even more dangerous. How do you go and approach LTA now when you have a Bwaka soulless stooge there to be the man? The man is Bwaka soulless stooge. He almost politicized LBS and he didn't let the welfare off. He's not a professional journalist. He's a client journalist. He's Bwaka's own. That's what he going to LTA. What would give me confidence? Keff Hassan, you got your network here. You want to go over now to get frequency. You want to go to partner, get frequency. You better believe it, brother. You go march even partner and say, Keff Hassan, I want to open radio station. Hey, my brother, relax. So, I mean, in law, and I will close on the point because other colleagues got to come in. In law, there is a maxim in law that says it is not just enough to do the right thing. You must be seen doing the right thing. If you take a guy who is a compromised political commodity, everybody knows him to be a die-hard Bwaka fanatic. I would say a soulless stooge, and you can get angry at the business, and put him to LTA. You are politicizing a professional institution. It's not right. It doesn't give me confidence to go there. And even if I went there and I don't get what I want, I would politicize and say, oh, they refuse me because Patrick Hunter doesn't want me to do anything there. And nobody should come here with any slippery argument and say, Patrick Hunter is just one man. In Liberia, sycophancy is the order of the day. If Patrick Hunter is the man closer to the president on that commission, everybody will listen to what he said because if he fall out of line, Patrick Hunter will carry a report to President Bwaka. So soon and very soon, Patrick Hunter will be calling the shots at LTA. This is bad as bad can be.
Okay. Yeah, and in fact, the next person come out, the guy who is being nominated for chairmanship, I'm getting information about some activity he did today, but I will talk at the end of the show. The Abdul Kamara guy. I think no, Keff, that way on the issue. That way on the issue. Everybody way on the issue, Keff. I beg you.
No, I want to use my time.
But Keff, that way on the issue now. I beg you, brother.
I want to get a bottle of water quick. Let me get a bottle of water quick. I didn't count that water. Let me get a bottle of water quick.
You need a bottle of water.
So, Tomalin, in regards, guys, can you mute yourselves, please? A lot of echoes in the back. Just mute yourselves. All right, good. Anybody else can go now. I just need to make sure that was done.
Chris, go ahead. Go ahead and Robert, then Calabo.
You see, tenure position can only be terminated on extraordinary circumstances. So for them to try to terminate these people tenure position, it just shows you that Liberia is in the dinosaur age. Liberia is in a dinosaur age, and this government is a dinosaur government. In that, they're ignoring the concerns of the Liberian people. So they're afraid of the people internally because they were there before and from the last government into this government, they are afraid because those people will be able to check them, and they don't want that to happen. And these are the reasons why. These are one of the reasons why they are trying to terminate these people in a position. And the thing is that the people in those positions, the people are supposed to do right by the people. And they have to be free from termination at this point in time, especially if they did not do anything, to be able to do right by the people by putting this government feet to the fire or negotiating for whatsoever position they're in for the country. So for you to terminate these people position right now is just a bad thing to do. Mr. Dinosaur government, you need to stop. You need to stop.
So who's next? So Robert?
Kev. Who else?
Well, let Kev go then.
Kev, go ahead.
Okay.
I do have the former superintendent of Bassa on the line, John J. Papet. He gonna speak. He's taking my time. He's gonna speak on the issue of the tenure and Julie Handy. Go ahead, Superintendent.
Let me say good evening to you based on our interval. Let me say, Chairman Ben, good evening to everybody, and happy to be on the platform today as a debut. It's a debut for me. But firstly, I want to speak on the issues that has to do with the cultural ambassador. We said it during the campaign time because we have known Omen Joseph Boakai for over 30 years of our own existence, and we know the kind of person he is after he has spent over 42 years in public service. We knew that Liberia was going back to the dark days when having people like him at the helm of power. Today, you have a woman abuser. And my disappointment is those women that I saw behind Prophet Key, the so-called prophet. It still shows to me that they don't even respect each other. There's a man that came to Liberia. The woman she didn't go to do more violence. The woman, because she went to court to pursue her case because she felt that she'd been abused, she'd been insulted publicly on social media and other platforms. This woman went to the court to have a legal advisor to the president. In fact, the charge of government did not even behave like this. We didn't see anything happen in charge of government. Of course, some people describe us to be kids. We knew nothing, but we were in government with President Weah. We didn't see this thing happening. To interfere with court issue, it shows that there will be no respect for rule and order. You go to the court, you will not get redress. And I think this is the point that Liberians are gravitating towards. And we came to it directly because people hated President Weah so much until they are giving up this woman Boakai. Look at what's happening today. The lady went to court. You want to deny her of all charges, you drop all charges against her, never insulted her publicly, demean her. So I think it is about time those women that were protesting for Chala Musu and other women here during the President Weah regime, they need to stand up. I'm going to join this fight. I'm going to volunteer my services with the ambassador. I'm going to work along with her. I'm going to offer myself to her to this process, no matter the situation is. Now I come back to the tenure position issue. We said it before. The very first thing here is if I have tenure position, I'm going to put injunction on the process. I'm going to go to court. I will put an injunction on the process. Nobody will go to office and you're going to pay me for my time. If you want to terminate my contract, you're going to come with consequences thereof. The father, I was keen for the employer to work for the Liberian people at a tenure position, and you can't forcibly want to get me out. We're going to go to court. This is a process. Which one is the order of the day? They will put our employer Ministry of State. They will put our employer our general ministry, public work. They are recall all of them on less than 3 months in Boakai administration. They are recall all of these people from their position. They are not even working right now. They are asking them to go to what they will call them, what they want to call them. Where you do this in a developed country? I believe that there should be a popular uprising, and I want to say that unequivocally that there will be a protest in Liberia, a process. A process, Joseph Boakai and a team of about $19.5 million back. A process, they will restore electricity that we're getting on President Weah time. He should come on time. On a process, they will make sure that the $650,000 that were given for the inauguration program, that money should be restored back to the Liberian people. They should give proper account of these money that was spent. The $350,000 that were given to county chairperson for inauguration celebration, which of course we didn't see it happen in any other district or county, they must give account of this money. Joseph Boga, children, all the money they have received from Lebanese people, to make sure that they sell the industry to them, they must give account of the process. It will be a DD in Liberia. And I can assure people, no matter the situation is, we're going to stand up to the tyrannical government. We're not going to give them a briefing space. I just want to keep me on your show. Thank you so much for having me.
Janje, hold on. I got a quick question for Janje. Yeah. You're making an announcement. The last time you were in opposition, in opposition when you announced a protest, President Weah then was an opposition leader. He called on you guys to not do the protest. What if the former president of Liberia called on you this time and say, don't do the protest? What are you going to do?
First of all, Chairman, the first thing you must take into consideration is time interval. The years I was in opposition, I never served government before. The fact that I have seen very circumstances that before our country, trust me, President, will talk to me on that issue. Even if government want to go protest, I will pray the message will go across. It is not about President we are any longer. He has served this country. His mark is indelible. He has done his well. You can see exactly the vote that have been open. It's not about him anymore. It's about our country future. It's about what's going to happen to the unborn generation. It's about the lawlessness that are going on right now in the country. Today you see people going after people right now because of that job. They never supported you. We have opposition working in our own government. We can need most of them working in our government. They have a briefing space. They are going to company from company to company to send people need that they will not even work in the private sector. I'm saying this to you. What a president, yes, I was on record for that. He called us, we listened to the call because there was another issue. At this point in time, put me on record, Jeremy Ben. Put me on record, Jeremy Ben. April 6th, protest will stand, and we're going to stand up in the street, and we're going to stand to the feet of this government to make sure that, look, Women Joseph Boga say you cannot run this. They cannot even remember who are on the list. Look at the release that came just the evening. They are putting somebody to be David realizing that one woman to be to the job. Roger Tona. Can you imagine? What kind of country are we running?
That's new.
No,
Is that true?
It's very frustrating. And we need to stand up to these people no matter how the circumstances are. A man said he was ruthless to us before when we opposition. Where about Joseph Boga? I can say to you, no matter the situation is, we're going to stand up to them no matter what. If President we are coming, he being peace ambassador, I want to hear peace ambassador telling him carry. But at this point in time, we are talking about the survivability of the state and the people. Our people, today you came to power based on the promises you made to our people. Today, beg or rest. A 25 kg rest, a 1,700 some quarter, a 3,700 quarter. You know what you're talking about? KR press are gone from 750 to 870, 880 other places. And you tell us you're going to rescue her, and you cannot rescue her, we rescue here on April 6th.
Wow.
And the fact that the superintendent just said this, let me just add to it that and Tomalin, I'm pretty sure you're aware of it because you highlighted.
Any question for the superintendent, or you can.
Well, no, I mean, I don't have any question. I was just going to highlight the April 6th issue.
Okay, Janje, you finish? You finish?
Yeah, I'm okay. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Go Lofa.
Okay. You know, in regard to the April 6th protest, I think you spoke about that here, Tomalin. People are taking this so lightly and thinking that it's just one of those protests that is just going to just come overnight and just like rain and get away with. But we are having a lot of young people who are reaching out. A lot of young people who are reaching out and they're saying, we want to stand up and we want to be heard. Okay. Let me say this regarding the tenure position. We said this thing before. I'm not surprised about anything that is happening here. The only people that should be surprised about these violations are those who support the idea of once you chant battle cries, you should be rewarded with a job. We spoke about these things. The reason why the like of President Boakai and other people are doing these things is because they want to live up to their promises they made to people during the elections. The reason why an individual who will publicly sit and insult a woman and think that he should be rewarded with a public office. It's because these are the kind of negotiations that were made in the back. So I'm not surprised that these things are happening. I've made it clear time without number. Honorable Boycott, President Weah, 5 and 6. The only difference between these two is the age, and the performance of one person will put them on the edge. And I am without any doubt telling you that President Boycott will be worse than President George Weah, because he know exactly what he's doing. He's purposely doing these things to hurt. It's like, to some extent, I feel like it's like revenge. I feel like this is vengeance. He actually doing this to send a message across and say, when I asked you to elect me in 2017, you didn't do it. And you elected President Weah. So my term in office, I'm going to pay back for everything you did to me. For the group of people who claim they came to save the state, to start off on this note, is this some kind of joke? You're not putting people in positions because of competence. You're not providing jobs based on merits. Instead, you're giving people jobs based on their loyalty to you as an institution or as a person. Listen to what Mr. Jackson highlighted. You took Patrick Hunter and put him in a position where he will possibly sabotage the possibility of other media institutions because he wants to remain a loyalist. I'm hearing allegedly people who are appointed to position without confirmation have started to work. You appoint a person and then they start to work without confirmation. Are we now living in a lawless state? The same thing we talked about President Weah. We insulted this man to some degree, that today he can stand and say, thank you, Jesus. Let the birds come and sit on my arms and every part of my body because I feel free. Free at last, free at last. I have nothing to do with these people again. Then you gave the country to an elderly gentleman who's supposed to be this savior. And then all of a sudden, you have the likes of Darius DeLon, Yombly Kanga, and other who have decided to do nothing more than plunge us down the drain. The man who told us that the economy was in the toilet, Darius DeLon, and others, they are now participating in the confirmation of people who threaten the lives of other Liberians. He stood against the confirmation of Zoli Zo. Today, Darius DeLon can sit and talk about he's a part of a confirmation hearing of a man who threatened the life of another Liberian. And you don't see or hear Darius DeLon sit on his Adolph Lawrence podcast for whatever he called it. You don't hear him advocate for Liberians. Today, he's silent because he's the lawmaker that he claimed he wanted to be all along. The reality is kicking in. I'm not surprised, to be honest with you. I'm only using this as an opportunity to amplify the message. What we said before is simply just coming to light. What we saw before is coming to light again. Highlight it for yourselves and continue to live up to it. My expectation was never that we would change. Amara Khan, and I'll close on this note. Amara Khan, who told the people that he would be the man of transparency, He told the people he would be that man who will actually lead the act of transparency. Today, Amara Khan is yet to declare his asset and publish it. When people ask Amara Khan about his asset declaration, he's telling Liberians to go and ask the LACC. The man Amara Khan you're talking about, this is the man who claimed he is the man of transparency. The transparent leader is the one who is now hiding all the money he made at the World Bank. But he's hiding it. He cannot declare his assets, told the public, but he's supposed to be transparent. He's supposed to represent the innocent Liberians. I stop on that.
Okay, guys, we almost out of time. So, guys, let's just wrap up quickly. But wrap up way on this tenure, and then Kalabo way on this tenure issue.
So look, I want to say that when President Weah was attempting to repeal the tenant position, he communicated with the legislature. He wrote a bill, and in as much as a lot of folks did not agree with the explanation, it was a full part to that. And to summarize it, it was about, according to him, obstructed the executive branch of government agenda. That bill was passed in the House and the Senate. It got stuck in the Senate. And I remember vividly because there were multiple radio stations and the class reloaded at the time. They carried this. And I said these names out of respect. Stephen Johnson, my good friend George Lobo, and I know he's watching. We had a few years back and forth on the drive. Dwalo, and the rest of the guys, including the non-information minister on the class reloaded. But I want to highlight what Abraham Darrow Dillon said then. He said the decision to send a bill, and this was a bill, to cancel alternative positions within the executive branch is dictatorial in its nature. And he said it was not a good tendency of good governance. I listened to his interview, I think either today or a few days ago. You know what you know how he has described this? I will admit to some mistake that the Boakai administration have taken. This is where we find ourselves, folks. And the reason why I was saying earlier that we shouldn't bunch all of us into whether or not Liberia is a normal country is that this is like a circus. I mean, every time we are against certain things, we are only against it not because we think is wrong, but because it does not serve our personal interests at the moment. And this is what you see. The rule of law, at the time that it was against Unity Party's personal interest, they spoke out against it. George Weah did not just unilaterally went and started to appoint people. He wrote a bill. So on this note, I will give the former president some credit here. Because he respected the law, he said, I want the law to be repealed on the constitutional position. And our House, the Senate and the House of Representatives did their due diligence, and it didn't pass. But here we are today. Appointments have been made in positions the president knows these appointments should not be made in. And the biggest voices against this particular act just a few years ago are now quiet and silent on this issue only because they have access to the president. Only because they have access to the president. And this is where we find ourselves. This is not the first time they've made a mistake with who was supposed to be minister, deputy minister, the names that were actually appointed as opposed to not. They made a mistake before again, and we spoke about it. So if the most experienced, if the most articulate, if the most intelligent people in the history of our country are now in a state of confusion, lawlessness, if the most experienced, the man who have been in public service for over 40-something years seems to be confused. The question is, who will save the state? We have a long 6 years to go. In the next few weeks, we will be talking about the first 100-day promises. And so I assume there will be many protests going on because I'm not sure if they started on the 100 days to ensure that no cars got stuck in any roads. I mean, this is going to be a total mess, and this is what we're going to be talking about: the 100-day promises. So, to those who's going out there April 6th, I believe in the freedom of protest, and people should go and protest. I'm just hoping that the government do the right thing to ensure that we are eliminating some of these protests and do right by the people. But this is where we find ourselves. And it'll be interesting to see what some of my friends think today. Stephen Johnson, he's in government now. Lobo, and all the other guys. It would be so interesting to have conversations with them about the state of affair of our country right now.
Incredible.
Okay, so quickly on this. Guys, I listen to the different comments. Hear what I will say. Sometimes we say, if you make one misstep or mistake, one can say that's a mistake. But if you do it 50 times, you are making a statement, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my personal opinion, I listen to Julius. There are two things I want to talk on. First, on the confirmation hearing issue, that some people who were nominated are already acting, they're flouting the laws. My personal position on that, I think this is so say one, so say all. There's a bad culture under the CDC and the Unity Party for 18 years. And I'll continue to argue this. These two parties are the party of lawlessness. They are the party of crimes. They are the party of corruption. They flout the laws. Because I know for a fact, my own brother was a victim of a case that he won, $10 million case, that the governor of Liberia, under President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, took an appeal to the Supreme Court. All the Supreme Court justices, from my information, did sign on the verdict upholding the lower court ruling in favor of his client. What happened? President Sirleaf called Francis Kokpa and said, hey, the money is too much. Congress and opposition. His client can get our money, you get some percentage. That decision never left the Supreme Court. Today, the Supreme Court has not made a decision on that. The verdict never came back. Probably that the investor left the country. Maybe he's dead by now. That is the court we have. So, in my personal opinion, we do not need a turn position in Liberia. We just need to make all the position political position. That's all. Until we have leaders that will respect the laws, leaders that will live by the Constitution. Isaac Jackson is on the show. He was a veteran also of the WIA administration. So, guys, my position is the CDC and the Unity Party are the party of lawlessness, are the party of corruption, are the party of crimes, are the party of all the evils. So long those two parties continue to sit at the helm of power in this country, let's forget about all of that. If Baga nominated today, they should go and take their seat the next day. They should start work. No need. After all, the Senate, who is here to disagree with me? The Senate today is a center for trade. It's a trade platform. It's not a confirmation platform. Never mind the grandstanding. The Facebook activists calling themselves senators. They don't do anything. They don't question. They don't ask the fundamental questions. Okay? So what is the need for confirmation hearing? Let's put that aside. Until we have a radical transformation, realignment of the state, we can go back to the rule of law. That's my personal position.
Yes. So, guys, look, we'll take phone calls when Ben will take some calls quickly, right?
Yeah, but yeah, I think it was close.
I want to jump in there.
Yeah, as John Henry coming, Henry Jala coming, let us few calls quickly.
Yeah, but let me. I think I've been unfair to my friend Kelebo. I haven't recognized Kelebo formally. Kelebo, I'm happy to see you here, man. Thank you very kindly for being here. Kelebo is a long-time friend. You know, we turned together at the university. We live almost in the same area on 11th, 12th Street. So I'm happy to see Kelebo here. But you know, I just want to pick up on something that Kelebo said, which I think is very, very important. The law is nothing. The law is just a paper. The strength and the credibility of the law is derived when we respect it. As long we don't respect the law, as long we are not wedded to the law is nothing. So it behooves the Bwaka administration that is now doing violence to the law to start to respect the law. If they cannot respect the law, then the same constitution says the Liberian people can gather peacefully or peaceably to petition them to do the right thing. If petitioning them means asking them to step down so we can have a new administration, so be it. It is the will and pleasure of the Liberian people that they said. So I am happy when the superintendent from one county, the Supreme Post of Buchanan Grand Bassa, called on the show and said, look, we will make use of the Constitution to petition these people to do the right thing. I think it's in the right place. You know, Robert talked about our friend Dylan. Look, I mean, Dylan is a habitual liar. You put your faith in Dylan, you will get disappointed through. Don't waste your time with it.
Tell Tomalin.
You know, on this confirmation thing, I just want to make these 2 points and drive them home. Bouaka said he was rescuing Liberia. Today, Bouaka had 2 nominees that have very serious record of human rights violation. He has forwarded their names for confirmation. The Internal Affairs Minister designate. He was the man who was accused of orchestrating violence in Lofa. This is the man. This is the same French Tomalin man. Today, Bouaka is rewarding him with internal affairs because he orchestrated violence in his favor in Lofa. These are not good signs. The other man, I say, he said, Vice President Kun, tell your Papa Bouaka has lived his life, enjoy his life. He proceeded wrongly. The country is not a private farm, not a private estate. No, President Tomalin, who orchestrated violence during this election, is not internal affairs minister. Is he being rewarded for orchestrating violence in Lofa? We don't know. We don't know. The other man, Fremont, Nelson Fremont was accused of meeting violence against peaceful civilians in the country. He is the one. I think they nominated him as what? Deputy. He's a deputy, right? So what is Bouaka doing? These are people who has accusation of being human rights violator. So how is he rescuing the country? J. Nelson Freeman, accused of violating fundamental rights of peaceful citizens. So you go in now and you're nominating him too. How is Bouaka showing respect for the rule of law? It is against public policy for us to nominate people who are abusers of rights in the country. Bouaka, is he unaware? A former vice president and non-president, is he unaware that it's against public policy to give somebody a job who has been accused of committing violence against peaceful citizens in the country? And tomorrow, if people use that to protest, what are they going to say? Gentlemen, I think these people, Bouaka, as an older man, and his people, they already put our country in handcuffs and dragging it to hell. We have to stand up and rescue our country and save Liberia from going to hell. If we don't do it, it will be on us. I know it is frustrating, but Martin Luther King was very clear. Is a social progress doesn't come on the wheels of inevitability. It comes from the determination, the continual determination, and the what? The fire of what? People, freedom fighters. You're not going to sit down for these things to happen. Social progress will not happen. Bouaka is retarding progress. He's holding back progress. When you give people who orchestrated violence big job, you reward them because they supported you and orchestrated violence in Lofa. People died there. Today, you're not answering questions to our code. You're giving the internal affairs ministry to run. It's a problem. So if the family of those people who were affected, the aggrieved family, if they stand up tomorrow, the country will witness untold disturbance. I would not want to say violent because maybe they will not be violent people, but they will stand up for their rights. So, I think Bouaka needs to start to recalibrate. And if he cannot recalibrate, if he cannot do the right thing, the right for our people to stand up and make use of the Constitution, it should be exercised.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I'm sure you guys on Monday, I didn't listen to the show. Did you guys talk about the Student Unification Party press conference?
Yeah. In fact, he called in.
I'm just reading a photo here. That they actually giving an ultimatum on the.
Yeah, he called. In fact, but Calabo, the chairman called. He called on the show. He had a. So Henry, let Henry take some calls now.
Let Henry take some calls.
They just announced that they're removing themselves from the alliance. This the EFL. They're removing themselves from the
EFL went to look for a job.
No, EFL, they appointed a CIC.
The CIC got appointed.
Yeah, they gave
they're not worried about EFL. Emmanuel Gilbert needed a job. He got it.
He declined the job?
Yeah, he made a public statement today. He declined the job.
Oh.
He said a
position. Let's take some calls.
He said a position.
Let's take our calls.
Another
UBR.
Number, not him.
I think the United Party should support.
They should support the right of people to protest.
No, I think that's
$7017635. The number to call.
Twice or season.
To the first caller. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing fine, sir.
Your name from where you join us?
I'm calling from the community.
Okay, Copa Guaya.
Yeah, actually, I want to applaud all of the panelists on the show and want to say thank you to everybody for pushing the issue. Looking at the thing that our president today is actually shocking to the nation. He was partly voted to come and rescue, but now we are looking at Liberia going down the drainage, and nothing is going to come out of it, most especially when it comes to the tenant position. That we're going back and assessing it, and we need to speak about it, most especially when it comes to the Ambassador Julie and the issues. It's something that we should wake up and talk about. I must talk about this on a visit in June or April 6th protest. We're going to be part of it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. 7017635. The number to call, and then you're going to be live. To this caller, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Yeah, my name is Imori Sako calling from Pittsburgh.
Okay, go ahead. 1 minute.
As a Jackson just need two persons. But Kenebola is still his brother. Dokuba is one of the serial killers during the Red Civil War. He has been appointed by Joseph Walker. Let him talk about him too.
Okay.
He wanted to get up on your whole town.
777017635. That's the number to call, and then you're going to be live on the closing document. So let's call her. Good morning.
Morning, how are you?
I'm doing okay, and you?
I'm trying. This is Activist Justin Initiative. I'm calling from Sunshine City, Maryland County. I want to say thank you to all of the panelists. It's a pleasure being on Posting Activist for the very first time. It's a sad day. We sell it to the Liberian people. Unfortunately, they didn't listen to us. So the old man have done proof the level of leadership. Because we saw him, we follow him at the level of Minister of Agriculture with Little Boy. We also saw him as a group of person as vice president. And he did not perform. There's some men who office for getting 1.2 million. We didn't see the actual man in his community rehab, around the highway. We didn't see it. His own personal contribution. We didn't see anything in Lofa. They made some Tomalin. The cabinet has been dominated by social lofians. His own supporter, the controversial candidate for the World Bank, Senator Johnson, spoke about it when the young man went for the confirmation as mayor of Monrovia. So we said it. It's just a sad day. Liberian people will not listen. End of the day, they say they voted the old man because of anger, of envy, because some officials who are in the government did not perform to expectation. And President Weah himself take our leadership. So this is the first year we'll continue with the month ever. We're going to tear them. There's an old man who said he went to Ghana. And, sleep in Ghana. And up to now, he said we're going to see the president of Ghana. And later on, he said, but we cannot see any photo. And he diplomat said, if you go to meet your counterpart of president, there won't be some welcoming ceremony. At the executive marshal at the airport. So it's a sad day.
Okay.
So April 6th, the April 6th protest is welcoming. We will try to call our people there in Monserrato. If we have any money so that they can say we'll be peaceful. And the lawmakers around some cities in the alliance, they are about 14 to 15. But they are joining the other, opposition or ruling party member to confirm people who should not be confirmed. It's a sad day for Liberia.
Okay, thank you. 777017635. That's the number to call, that you're going to be live. So let's call her. Good morning.
Yeah, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing okay, and you?
Yeah, let's go.
Your name from where you join us?
Yeah, I'm Abraham D. Mogo. from the Keyhole community.
Okay, Abraham, go ahead. 1 minute.
Yeah, actually, you people from the Swing FM, you are the one who really contradicted us to vote for
Hello. Point of correction. Hello. This is not Spoon FM. I can read.
No, leave him on. Don't cut him off.
I have to let him go.
No.
You let him stay on, please. You don't cut him off.
7-0-1-7.
Correct him.
So this is not Spoon FM. This is Truth FM. So you will not say we mislead
They
you.
don't on purpose.
Okay. Good morning. How are you? Okay, Prince. 1 minute.
Yeah, this is a situation everyone in our country now should accept and live by it. There is a thing that says when you kick the stones with anger, the outcome of it is severe pain. So I don't know why Liberians will be complaining now when they decide to kick stones with their anger. And let us just live with it. No matter what our president doing is our now. So there's nothing we can do until the 6 years is over with. The pain is the result of anger. Pain is the result.
Okay.
So thank you. And thank you about it.
Thank you so much. 770-176-35. That's the number of the call that you're going to be live on the closing argument. To this caller, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm okay, yeah.
Your name from where you join us? Okay, Emmanuel, go ahead.
Yes, for me, I know the big but I just the closing argument. Only thank you for the show. But I just see, but I just see at least I'm glad I'm on the land today. I don't know. Everybody, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for not sleeping to be at work to get it happening. To this caller, good morning.
Yeah, I sir.
I'm doing okay, and you?
Yeah, I do call on the radio station just now. You offering?
Yes, because
let him talk. Let him talk.
Yeah, you will talk. I'm coming.
Because
your opinion was not in line with what I was saying. Your opinion was, in fact, there's a radio station that's Spoon FM. Ben misleading your mayor to vote Joseph Boakai. So I was telling you, I said, no, there's not Spoon FM. This is Truth FM. That's how I caught you because you were not understanding what you were saying.
Okay, my brother, I'm sorry for that, but I don't mean harm.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. You people make us to vote for this government. And we give our money to this government. Like people coming out against the discussion and make us to be, for me, I'm so frustrated about hearing so many things about this government. I'm being so frustrated and disappointed. So that's why I really called to express my own feeling about how I'm feeling about this government now. Because you people encourage us. And we motivate other people too.
Okay, so we didn't encourage you to vote for Joe Boakai, yeah? We didn't support Joseph Boakai, so.
But let him land.
I think he finished.
Is he done? Henry, is he done?
Yeah, he finished.
He's started line.
No, he's not done. Let him land. Okay, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, so I give all my whole life for this government. But actually, I'm too surprised of this government going the way they're supposed to go now. I'm feeling so frustrated and disappointed. So I don't even know what to do. I'm too confused.
Okay.
Manage your expectation.
It is too soon for you to be confused. So you have to put on that ammo, that strong ammo, so that you will keep it for 6 years. And then I kept telling you this. That's point. In no point now we sat on the radio or with the panelists will tell you say go and vote Joseph Boakai. So I don't know. You are not.
We used to be on Spoon, so maybe he.
Good job, Heron. You're doing a great job.
Aaron, last call now.
Good morning.
Good morning, brother Henry.
Your name from where you join us?
And all of the folks in the United States of America in the closing argument. I'm James Blama Kamara and I joined the conversation from Ghana. Let me appreciate the panelists and let me appreciate every one of you. You know, it is about Liberia and we all should be able to speak in the right. Or experience in government. So indeed, he is still on in government as government official and currently occupies the highest seat in the Republic. Respect expect him to be able to deal with the rule of law in terms of being able to run this country, but not to mind, the sentiment to lead in terms of making decisions that will make Nigerians to not believe in his stability, even though we told them, for some of us that Honorable Burka do not have the political will to ensure that he be able to run our country because of his stage. He's also not, too well in his health, and also politically, we're not being able to see Honorable Burka policy being able to affect this country positively from where he has been able to serve from the stage up to So I just want to ask everybody to join in a protest in these to put our country on the right trajectory. In these, I think the real rescuers will soon be here because we have to also join forces to ensure that we rescue this country, because if we leave this country with those few guys who came to steal our resources and call themselves rescuers, definitely our country will go down in them. I don't know if that's the wrong thing about the country economic system when you said it was in the top. Where it is, where is the economic system of our country right now. So I just want to say, let us keep, working together and support the right thing, the right interest of our country. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you so much. So just before I turn to the panelists, when you are calling, it is not about anger, right? Let's get this straight. If you come with anger, you will not push the actual thing. At times, you even forget about what you want to say because you came with anger. And then, that's just the same thing we are saying to the government. People in opposition, but then they feel that coming to power, they came with so much anger, so they want to prove themselves. So you will not actually, when you keep making errors, you have to relax. So if you don't relax, you keep making errors. Yeah, as you make the errors, we will say that you're playing blame. We will not take side the way you want it to be for it to go in your favor. So when you call, relax yourself, make your point. Do not call with anger. So the guy say, if I come to power, send the man feels like he boss myself to a boss more than him. So you want to prove that high supreme shit. You will not actually make your case. You will always be on the wrong hand. If you fall on the wrong hand, we will say them. So it is back to you guys.
Harry, you got 2 beers on me, sir. 2 beers. Call 1, 2.
Quick announcement here. We have been getting a lot of people requesting 5 days broadcast on this platform. And again, I think we made it clear a couple of days ago. Everybody you see on here, we're volunteers. People are just committing the time to be on here. Unfortunately, if you want us to be here 5 days, we need the financial support. Somebody inboxed me yesterday and said, "Hey, I said, y'all got money." I don't think anyone on this platform ever told anyone they have money. If you guys want this platform to run 5 days a week, do your part. Contribute in any way you can contribute, but financially we'll appreciate this. We have the Cash App right here. Be a part of the contribution so that this young man you just heard, okay, he needs transportation, okay? He cannot continuously take public transportation because his safety is of concern to some of us. We would not put our family or immediate relatives in the streets like what he's doing. So please, the Cash App is over there. You can make contribution so that we can maintain the program. As these panelists come on here to volunteer, leave their jobs to volunteer the services here, I think the least that all of us can do as patriots is to contribute the little that we can to maintain the program, because from all indication, it is informative and Liberians are benefiting from it. So let us do our part, especially for those of us in the diaspora. I just want to make that clear, please.
Can I take one call, please? I got this guy on the phone. Can you get him 30 seconds?
We'll take one call. We'll take one call from the diaspora, and then we'll kind of go. Go ahead.
Man, please, Brian, put my name down, man. I didn't tell you all that one. Go ahead. Elston, go ahead, Rick. We got 30 seconds.
Let me say hi to you and all of the fellow panelists. This is Elston, the legend. I call from the U.S. of A. I'm Isaac Jackson. I listen to you propound. You're a very good orator. You speak very fluently. But I like people who gauge issue from a very objective standpoint. When you highlight someone like my personal friend, who and I, along with Abraham, Patrick Horner, we work on the radio in Liberia at the same station, Power. And when you highlight Patrick's being offered a position or whatever, a proximity to the president, when you should also be cognizant that During we asked Kenya, he denied Patrick the luxury or Liberian who was opening a station for the longest to open a Punch FM, which of course in turn deny other Liberians for getting the privilege of working, because Patrick is not going to be the only one working there. He was going to employ Liberians to work for him. So if it is good for the goose, you know that saying, it is good for the gander. So the people who you all proffer message for in the We Are government, they committed wrong. Look at Akawa's grade. George, we are sat there and made him to lead a whole thing to unseat a legitimate justice, Janet. And you all know the story. So when I admire people who criticize things fairly, so the things that were wrong during We Are government, when we said it, and it is wrong today, we can say it, then I respect you. That's called objectivity. That's called being a realist. Look at George, as a president, you left the country for over 40 days to go watch soccer when we have rice crisis. But here you are today talking about the heightening of the rice prices today. Be fair when you propound. I respect you. Objective.
Thank you.
Let me make a program.
Let me respond to him quickly. My very quick response to the brother there is.
Can you respond to him in your closing, please?
Yeah.
I just want to do it quickly, man. Then my closing, I'll take it for good thing.
I'm begging you. We're running out of time, please. Go ahead, Tomalin.
Program note. Tomorrow we have a show. Having a show tomorrow. The fire chief that was invited by President Bouaka to Liberia for his inauguration, Chief Ken Perleman, will be our guest tomorrow. He'll be making some revelations tomorrow. What happened in Liberia? He'll be talking to us tomorrow. He'll be our guest tomorrow on Friday tomorrow. On I don't know, but the Friday one is still a little sketchy. Lofa will talk a little. But on Saturday, the Minister of Commerce have agreed to appear on Saturday, so we'll have a special show on Saturday with the Commerce Minister, Amin Modat. So just for program note. Okay, guys, let's do our closing quickly because we'll have less than 5 minutes out just to my studio.
Let's start with Isaac so he can respond to that caller.
So in closing, let me start with my friend who are talking about balancing things. The first thing is the man is self-contradicting. He said, we are closing the main radio station, we are debating the move journey. But if we are debating, does it give Bouaka the currency to do bad thing too? Two wrongs cannot make a right. What I'm raising here with the Patrick Honor thing is plain and simple. There is something in law and in common sense and in public policy they call conflict of interest. Patrick represents or he presents a conflicting interest because he is an owner of a radio station. They call the radio station Punch FM. He goes to LTA. LTA is supposed to what? Regulate radio station. They issue frequency. Patrick is today a political person. He is not just that professional journalist we knew before. He is now a client journalist, a Bouaka propagandist. So when you see Patrick, you see Bouaka. This is a man who is forcing with everybody for Bouaka. You can't carry him to a technical professional body where he's conflicted, then a political leaning will also show. It discourages and undermines the professionalism of the LTA. This is what I say. So if Keff Hassan were to go to Liberia and raise a radio station, and Patrick Hannah, let's say earnestly, Keff Hassan get all his paper, and Patrick Hannah deny Keff Hassan can make a political argument because Patrick is a soft target and say, look, Patrick is denying me because he knows me to be a weird person and my radio station will promote weird. That's why he denying me. If he was to even do it in the rightness of the procedure, we say, but it has political honor too. So either way you put Patrick Hannah, he should not be in that place because he sends the wrong signal. Patrick Hannah could take on the role of a director of communication in the presidency. Why didn't do that? Why he going to LTA? He's an owner of a radio station. And even if he argues, say he would divest his interest from the radio station, I would still say it will be superficial. Because everybody knows Patrick on a radio station that he left, that he fought back position. It's just the way they asked the commerce minister on Spoon FM, right? Is that commerce minister, you running business? How you going to do the business and you going to regulate commerce? He said, I will lead a business with my wife. I laugh my socks up. But the commerce minister doesn't know that he and his wife are one and the same. He said he will leave a business with, what are you doing here? It's a joke. I understand he coming to my tango, but in concluding, let me say to the Liberian people, we can remove Bouaka on the basis of an insurance law policy. You know, if you do insurance law, The foundational thing in insurance law is for you to be truthful when you sign the contract. They say if you were to go for a life insurance to your insurer, and the basis for obtaining the insurance policy, if you lie, say for instance, you go for life insurance, and you tell your insurer, say, I am in brilliant health, I am in good health. And on the basis of the false declaration, you were to get a life insurance policy, and later on your insurer recognize that you are not in brilliant health as you claim. When you benefited the life insurance, it is a ground for the cancellation or for the nullification of that life insurance policy. You can't be taking diabetes medicine, so to speak, and you go to the insurance and say, look, I'm in brilliant health, even though you have a pre-existing medical condition. This is what Boakai and Unity Party did to Liberia. They put the Liberian Republic on the lying pretext that Boakai was in brilliant health. Today, it is a clear evidence to every earnest person that Boakai is not in brilliant health, that he is not effective as a leader. He forgetting things. They will appoint people with all scrutinizing the president, then they withdraw it. They have appointed and withdrawn people several times in less than no time. It shows to you that Boakai is forgetful. Senility has crept in on him. So he's not in brilliant health. So if he got elected on the basis of a Trump or lies that he was in good health, and we now know that he freezing on stage, that is they trimming his speeches to be short so that his signal will not come in, then we will say in the context of insurance left policy, you lied to us, we're canceling your contract, we will stand in the street and protest for you to calm down because you are not effective at your work. It's qualified. So that begin who call and say, why we must do now? No, but the thing you must do, the Constitution say you must stand up and petition your people and say, the president will let it, he's not effective, he's not doing good work. Yeah. People who are accused of violating human rights, he making a deputy inspector general. How can you get Nelson Fremont to be inspector general, deputy? How can you get Francis normally who orchestrated violence in Lofa to be internal affairs minister? What are you doing, Brother Boakai?
I say you need to come on the show every day now.
Mama, I work, but I work it. I gotta hustle. But it's a good thing to be here, and I thank you, guys. I look forward to coming back maybe tomorrow and another time. Thank you so very kindly. I appreciate you.
Be on for Friday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday will be on. Chris, go ahead. Let's get the last word.
Well, Liberia is in a dinosaur age, and this president is a dinosaur president. I continue to say that. Whereas in a country where a self-proclaimed prophet who sat on his phone and insulted women on a pot, this man, he cost the president mind. He caused everybody to defame women character, call them all kinds of sorts of names. And then you will call your executive advisor to come and dismiss a criminal case where a woman was assaulted, verbally assaulted. So that's why we say this country is in a dinosaur age. It doesn't happen anywhere in the world, not even the countries that surround our country. So it's a shame. Where are people seeing in anywhere in Africa where Nigerians or Ghanaians sit for 6 years and just insult women on a part? And women identify with that because those women that identify with that, they are demoralized women. You know, and they should go and I will not get in the definition of that. Go and take Webster Dictionary or your Google it. They are demoralized women. We have no respect for them. But we who respect ourselves will say we will not allow this to happen. This man has called himself Jesus, and he referred to himself that he would be personal Liberia, and that's the time someone will denounce our citizenship in our country. I just wanted to say that insulting people is not a verbal resume to get a job in Liberia. If you think you qualify for a job, go and send in your resume. Let the people look at it and give you the job. But for you to defame a woman's character is not the right thing to do. And this the reason why I stress on this, because we lead a advocacy group, and that we talk about this all the time. And it's a shame for some of our sisters to back these kind of things. You know, And concerning Giuliani, we stand behind you, madam. We will fight to the end. I got something called TPIP. The pen is powerful. We are government know it well. They should go and get reference from Pisos Edita. She will tell you the pen is powerful. So we will use our pen and we will write. And we will make sure that this government is tranquilated because of what is going on in the country. Thank you.
Okay, who's one person? Another person for the next 1 minute. I mean,
Well,
10, 30 seconds.
let me do mine. Let me do mine.
Go ahead.
But look, it's unfortunate that we are where we are, and what is even more unfortunate is the fact that we are where we are this early. This administration have not been in office for not even a good 90 days, and we have having all of these issues: lawlessness, elementary mistakes, dishonesty. We're having all of these issues so soon. And so I hope that we truly use this, because in the next 6 years, this is going to be a long 6 years. There will be campaigns again. Politicians will be running for offices again. And, in this debate, in this dialogue about, are we a normal country? I can only hope that I can only hope that we proved that in fact we are a normal country, that we can make sensible decisions, that we can put the interest of our country first, and because what we see at play is politics. We see politics at play. We see people who were so outspoken just a few months ago now mint it because it's no longer in their interest. And so I look forward to see how this thing plays out. I want to give this government the chance, but it's difficult to give them the chance when you see so much mistakes that you least expect to happen under a government that was sold as the most experienced, the most intellectual, and the most sophisticated. And so I let's see what happens. Let's see how these things unfolds. Thank you.
Actually, I'll hold for the last.
Okay, just quick 2 points here. I will start with Grace. When Grace was speaking, she actually said, getting government, insulting people should not be the basis for getting government job. I think essentially that's the question she raised. But Grace, if you don't believe that, then you're wrong. Under the Unity Party government, I think it is President Salih that actually made a pathway. Those who got up on public platform, on social media, on local talk show, and blasted Salih or talk to the newspaper, they surfacing government.
Yep.
Gave them some contract.
Yep.
So criticizing government became a pathway to getting government job or getting government contracts. It is a new culture introduced by the Unity Party. Very sad. And the other quick point I want to make is, I was talking to a star of the Unity Party. I'm not going to call his name on the show because he didn't give me the permission to do so. But he's somebody who argued with Tomalin George, with Keff Hassan. Well, I mean, he was on the platform. He was on, Reloaded. He was on Spoon. He was on FOL. And he said to me, we just spoke last night. He said, Kelabo, in 1992, David Park, the director of the USIS Information Service, made a statement, a very profound statement, that there were many good people in Liberia than bad people. And it was time for the good people to win. This UP star propagandist last night said to me, Kelabo, I now have a real breath on that. I think there are many bad people in Liberia than good people. And I said, really? He said, yes. I said, but you guys just won with the bad people. He said, that's precisely. So I will end it there.
Kev, I think Kev, go on, man.
Let's have a good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kev.
Anybody else? Let me just say this, right? In closing, change is not instantaneous. It is process driven, and with the progress that we notice, we will speak to it. While we want to hold this government feet to the fire, I also want us to exercise some level of, just a little bit of patience. Somebody on here, like Ja Eddie would say, Lofa trying to plead on behalf of his uncle. God, he's my uncle. I can't throw him in the bad bush. Let me just be honest with you. He's my uncle. No matter how much I speak against him, at the end of the day, I still got to go back to Lofa County. And the old folks back will ask me all the questions in the world. But in all honesty, I didn't expect anything from this government, and neither will I ever change my thoughts as to what they will be able to do. Unfortunately, the young people in Liberia have refused. They have refused to embrace the true idea and understanding of change. We must understand that we have to learn to be patient. We must look for the best of the best to serve us. Government is service oriented. When one says service oriented, that means you have decided to come and make an impact. When I speak of impact, it's not your pocket, but impact in society. You have been lied to. They told you times without numbers that politics is interest, but they would not tell you the actual meaning of the actual interpretation, okay, of that statement. When you speak of interest, it's not your individual pocket. Again, it's the general interest of the nation. That's why people in the Western world would say politics is interest. But our politicians, like Darius Delon and other people, will profusely lie to you purposely because of their individual selfish interest, and they make you to think that this is what politics is like. Unfortunately, we find ourselves where we are. But let us not give up. Let us continue to hope and fight for a better Liberia, because I know this generation would do what is needed. We will do due diligence so that the generation after us will have a better Liberia going forward. Thank you.
Let me do my closing quick.
Yeah, Chairman.
One minute. Sorry, I went in. I don't know why I did it. Or eating boiled egg and beat up pepper. Sorry. Let me say this. Clearly, a lot is happening, and we must brace ourselves, because at the end of the day, Liberia is the only country we have, right? They say you can choose your wife, you can choose certain things you can choose, but you can't choose which country you want in, right? Exactly. Or which country is your country. Look, I think the rights of all Liberians must be respected. I think it's reprehensible what happened in the case with Julie Andy. I think they should allow the law to take its course, the process to go through, for it to go through the process. I think it is wrong that the president's legal advisor will pick up the phone and call. I'm hearing a feedback. I don't know who's that. But the president's legal advisor will pick up the phone and call a judge and tell the judge or the whoever to drop a case. I think that's wrong. I think that's wrong. It was wrong then. It is wrong now. And like Robert, like you said, I've always said it. The advocates of yesterday quickly become the oppressors of today. It always happens. It always does. And when people speak from an objective standpoint and start criticizing, then they say, "Oh, you're not consistent. You flip-flop." I have said over and over that you can't plant pepper and expect okra. It's not possible. It defies science. Any sound human being knows that. It defies it. We said over and over that the Unity Party did not represent change. If you wanted change, which a majority of the voters opted for, You have other choices in the race. You have Cummings, you have Moneyback. You have other choices. Gonglo. Liberia is the only country where a man like Tewon Gonglo will be running for president and he will not do well. Then your brother asking if we are a normal country. Liberia is the only country where we say these people are upright men and women. But we say no, they don't deserve political power because they're not popular, because they haven't been in government for 40 years.
They got money.
Or they got money, thank you.
But Cummings have money.
Or they're not corrupt.
But Kumi was you're not in government long.
Liberia is the only country where you get punished for doing things the right way. It's the only country that I know of. Now, I don't know about other countries, so that's why I say it's the only country I know of. Excellence is not celebrated in Liberia. It's not. No. Excellence is not celebrated in Liberia. So what happens? People conform. Like John Malu said in the text he sent Tomalin. He said, Joe Boyka is a conformist. I want to transform. My brother Martin Colley has taken a sabbatical.
Yeah.
One of the most vibrant, Martin attacked me.
I paid a man school fee to Glasgow University. He attacked me too.
The reason I'm saying this is because I'm not attacking him, but because I know how he feels. Forget about the Sarah Besso Yanti issue. I think the Sarah Besso Yanti issue, they have one issue, but I think the Martin that I know, I think he's reading between the tea leaves. Look, whether we like it or not, Joe Boyka has no capacity to bring fundamental change to Liberia. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Why are you surprised at the people Joe Boyka is appointing? Why?
I feel very
He's appointing people he knows, people who he worked with. He's a part of the system. Remember, Joe Boyka was a minister in the PRC government. And that is the candidate for change? Liberia is the only country where they try to defy logic and think that logic will stand. So I will say this.
That's it, you're right.
Me my own, you know me, and I'm perfect. The Unity Party people not call me rogue. They not anything they won't say, I don't get problem. But like I can always tell them, I go to bed sound at night. When I sleep, I don't even shake. You lay your bed, you will lay down inside. And at the end of the day, everybody should be given the opportunity, guys, to exercise the constitutional right. It is the right of Janje Bakwe and whoever that's coming out on April 6th, just as it was the right of us on June 7th. When George Weah called and said, gentlemen, let's talk about this, we said, Darius Dillon was the spokesperson for the COP. He looked President Weah in the face and said, Mr. President, all we are asking for is for the government to provide us security to express ourselves. This is Liberia. That's the Liberia we fought for. So I will respect the right. We respect the right. I just say at the end of the day, let's just try to keep the peace, because there's a lot of people in Liberia who, who don't deserve the craziness. But at the end of the day, they're caught up in it. But it was a fascinating conversation. We look forward to more discussions as we go ahead. Sometimes I won't stop talking, but guess what? We're author. We're author. The Unity Party people not saying, and this is my last thought. The Unity Party people not saying, what they're saying now, y'all will talk for 6 years. You know what it reminds me of?
CDC, 12 years.
It reminds me of my friends in the CDC. I remember, and I joked, Stormy, you were on the call with me the other day when I talked to Samuel Twe. I told Twe, I said, you the one cause your government to be one term. He said, why? I said, because when you came to power, you spoke under the Sycamore tree. You said, y'all are going to be in power for 24 years. You sharpen the armor of the opposition. I'm looking at my friends in the Unity Party. And guess what? The country you governing is in no way, shape, or form the country that George Weah governed. George Weah came with a solid political mandate. And in 6 months, that mandate evaporated. So if you think you won an election with less than 17,000 votes, and you think you have a monopoly on power in the country, you are governing a country in the 21st century. I hope my Uncle Joseph Boyka is listening. Because if he knows what is good for him, he will make the pivot and he will take control of his government, because there's just too much missteps this early. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Before you go, I have one quick question. What bed you gonna sleep on? Sleep no more? The way you gonna sleep like that?
Yeah, sleep no more.
Quickly,
I see what we can see, sir. Like that. I tell you.
Quickly, guys. Look, tonight, thanks for the show. I'm getting a lot of positive things for the show tonight. You had the country, the people will be watching the show, following the show, and I think you guys, especially on the issue of tenure, that people are concerned, and then there's threat about protest is causing some panic. But again, as Ben said, the rest of the people, and it was the same June 7th I left with Denom in the Senate today. Denom got in the Senate from June 7th. Okay. And the guy who was just nominated by the president, Abdullah Kamara, we got information that you went to the LTA today. That you shouldn't be going there. You're not even saying into the Senate yet. You run into the people's office to start inquiry. That's not how you do it. What they need to be sent to the Senate, where I know personally the Senate, I'm sure they got it on ice now. They'll figure out how they're going to do this confirmation. You don't rush the Abdullah Kamara. I'm calling you out. Do not go to LTA office. I won't call it brother name.
So, did you say Abdullah Katamba or
Abdullah Kamara?
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Yeah, do not go to the LTA office, okay?
Tomalin, why are you wasting the man time? You're wasting the country time. Yeah. The Senate is a World Trade Center.
Okay, now also
to go there to get a bad degree and bad.
I'm not going to take a seat.
Abdullah Kamara go and start work tomorrow morning.
Oh, he won't do it. On the issue of Judy Andy, somebody said the judiciary is the bedrock of functioning democracy and the rule of law. If what happened in the court, if they continue in our vessels away, people find out that the judiciary is compromised, they cannot be trusted, they won't invest in your country. So I hope the people take a note. Bushi Ben Keita, you are a trained lawyer. I expect you to know better. You're the president legal advisor. What you did by interfering in an ongoing legal matter is wrong. And I hope you stop it. Okay. And lastly, today there was a drug bust. Quickly, we just want me end it. I admire AB Kuman the drug bust, but my concern is the people that are bringing the drugs. These people are end users. Okay, they are one aspect of it. Now, the people you arrested today, are they going to go to where? To be rehabilitated? We don't know. But the people that are bringing the drugs, I suppose you go after mainly. The people who bring in the drugs, not these end users them. You can grab them, but the people that are bringing the drugs, don't go after them. So, guys, all the time, guys, beg you.
Yeah, but you strike a good point. I think the next show we should discuss the government effort to tackle drugs abuse in the country.
Mr. Jackson, let me just announce quickly, really quick before we get off air. Dr. Peabody wanted me to announce Winfred, Alosha Sheriff, and Noah Hawks all contributed tonight. And Dr. Peabody wanted me to announce that financially contributed to the upkeep of the show. Thank you guys for your contribution.
Great, guys. Yeah, keep it up.
Thank you.
See you guys. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, we have drugs too. Don't worry, we're running drugs too.
Okay. Yeah, Rob. Yeah. Come on.
What are you wearing out? You better go. I ain't arguing. You want everyone. It has been very much fascinating, educative, informative here on the closing argument. Join us tomorrow for another special edition of the closing argument. Many thanks for always following. Many thanks to the team there. True FM 96.9 in Nema County. Sacre Pied. The team that I heard of at 107.9 for also relaying this program, and all affiliate radio stations. My name is Henry Jada, and behind the camera has been the man at the Butler. So it's a good night join us tomorrow at same time, same station.